This is the most important season in Hawaii football history. We have just received a massive donation that we spent every last penny of, whether it was upgrading our facilities to a higher tier or buying the best roster in the Mountain West. It makes this year now or never for us to win a conference championship because we're just 2 seasons away from moving into our new stadium. And here's the thing, even though our roster is peaking, we don't have a good quarterback. Micah Alihado decided to transfer after he threw 19 picks last season. Those turnovers were definitely on him, not my fault at all. But anyway, if we struggled with him, I don't know how 78 overall Trey Sheffield or Hakeem Crandall is gonna do. I will start talking about Hakeem because he is the faster of the 2 QBs, but he is a weak arm like Micah Alihado, and he also had a horrible spring. Trey Sheffield, on the other hand, is a redshirt sophomore just like him, and he's a little bit better well-rounded, but he is also already peaked for how good he'll be in his career. He is going to begin the season as our starter, and as we look at our offense, you might notice a familiar name out there, not Trey Griffiths, who went for 1,000 receiving yards last year, but Zahale Smith. He has crushed us the past 2 seasons playing for New Mexico. We forked up the money to get him to transfer here for his senior year, and I'm hoping it pays off. We also invested a lot of money in this running back room. I'm hoping that Silver Takeoff on Winston Malone is super OP. It is stuff like that that just makes me so excited to start playing with this offense. I've been looking forward to it all day. Then over on defense, we're returning 8 of our 11 starters from last season. We added junior transfer DJ Kelly at corner. He's going to be a lockdown, which we need. There are games on our schedule that are obviously going to be tough. It's going to be a rough start playing 3 of our 4 first games against ranked opponents, but the main focus throughout this season is winning the Mountain West Conference. Now, despite us having no remaining budget for the rest of the season too, mainly because we're waiting for this investment to pay off before the transfer portal, the seniors that are graduating give us some extra NIL to play around with to high schoolers, and we have finally found a few that I am super stoked that we can pay. David DeMarco would come in with 96 speed at receiver. Ronnie Malik would have 92 speed, 95 acceleration, and Tyler Carrizosa, he could be our future quarterback years down the line. He isn't the only Tyler we have at quarterback either, though. Somehow Tyler Rourke, despite committing to Louisville, they pulled back on his money, and then he was able to make us pay him $230 NIL. This is just somebody that we're going to have to develop. Due to the fact that he has 90 speed, he has star development, and we can redshirt him, it's not the worst problem to have in the world. So I believe that catches you up on everything you need to know before we start Season 3 against number 20 Boise State. I'm already looking at favors with his 94 speed, not looking forward to this game. It also said there's a 100% chance of rain. If you missed Season 2, I would still recommend watching it first before I give you any spoilers. But look at this Broncos roster. It is better than ours. We have a 93 speed running back in Jordan Washington that we also have to go up against. They still have Helaman Kasuga. But let's see if we can begin this season getting a top 25 win against Boise State, which is something that we did last year. We even went to Boise, Idaho to do that, which means now that they have to come to our place, we're going to get our home field advantage. I've got the Hawaiian shirt on. I am ready for Season 3. And we're going to start it off on defense. I mean, this is just an ugly game to play in. I don't feel good about the rain with the running backs they have. We also moved PJ Souffrant over to strong safety. Looked like they might have pitched that. Anyway, lots of stuff has not changed that much with our defense, and they dropped the ball. Do you know how bad the weather has to be affecting the computer on Heisman difficulty for them not to catch one of the easiest passes out there? I am in disbelief at what we just saw. We also are going to have Amari Bowens back here returning kicks. He missed it. He missed it. Now we got to scoop this up with him and try to turn this into something. Oh, he's horrible. We are literally on the 2-yard line. It said he was a 67 overall returner, but he had 93 speed, so I wanted to give him a chance. It could have been a mistake. Junior Winston Malone will get this first carry, and that is nice. 9 yards. Unfortunately, we were not able to keep around Devon Rice for his senior year. He was so beat up. He also wanted a lot of money. Trey Sheffield on his first 3rd and 4. We're going to see if we are able to convert here. And there's the transfer. Zahale Smith was such a big pickup for us, mainly because we didn't have a stud receiver last season. He might be the best one that we have been able to find. There's also Trey Griffiths. He was great for us last season, but he just wasn't getting open there. On 3rd and 13, we're trying to run with Trey Sheffield, and it's just not the same. This is where not having a running quarterback is going to be a problem, because that has been our offense the last 2 seasons. Micah Alihado, we got to figure out where he transferred after this game, if we have to play him. I would assume for the money that he was asking for, he went to a much bigger school. That is going to be dangerous. That is going to be dangerous. It's not Jordan Washington, their faster running back, getting these carries, though. It is Jules Goff. He is still just as bad. I don't like that at any moment we could be seeing either one of them. There we go. platinum shifty. Just not what you want to be facing. Tyreek Tate on 3rd and 3 is sniffing out the run if it's there, but it is going to be a pass, and we're just not going to be able to get to that ball. Force the fumble. For the time being, Jack Murray is out there, and this is those big runs that we got to avoid. There is going to be a flag on Boise State. At least I thought it was against them before they snapped the ball. However, it was our junior defensive tackle, 83 overall, Tui Jackson Magoa, that had a neutral zone infraction, and we're just going to give up a touchdown here. How did he get rid of it? Just brutal stuff for us to be dealing with. They got an open player. He slips, still gets into the end zone. It is not the start that we were hoping for, I will tell you that. But Zahale Smith is just going to be open. He is going to get open. We've also gotten very accustomed to using a left-handed quarterback. Trey Sheffield is not that. Trying to explode out of there. I am very curious. Are we going to be able to beat the press with him? Because if so, that just opens up the game so much more. And we had open reads. We had open reads. That is one of those situations that is on sophomore Trey Sheffield. If he stays in the pocket, we are able to get some huge gains there. Good throw. Great catch. Let's just end this first quarter with a run, and we'll be on 2nd and 8. I don't think you understand how much I am watching that press over on the outside because I know Zahale Smith should be getting open. That is not the throw that we are looking for, though. 3rd and 8. Oh my gosh, Trey Griffiths with the route. That is another senior receiver that is going to be huge for us. Going to get a run going here. We'll take 5. What I really want to do, though, is I want to go back to halfback screens. They have not worked well for us in the past, and this is just a chance. At a 50-50 ball, Zahale Smith does it. If we can just put it up, make him find the ball in the air, he will take it away from the corner. Our tight end was not open. That was the throw that we had to make. Is there a little bit of PI during that? Maybe so, but we're the home team. Fun fact, before the game started, EA gave me an option to spend $10 so the refs would call more stuff my way in this matchup. We're going to see if that ends up being worth it as we're playing in offline mode. You got to pay to beat the computer. By the time this goes live, I'm not sure if they've reverted back on the sliders or anything. I'll be very curious on it. Jonathan Agomadu there, though, getting a huge sack, putting him on a 3rd and 14, and now we're hitting hard. We are starting to warm up a little bit. We're starting to feel a little bit better about this season. Can Amari Bowens at least catch this one, please? All right. And then explode out of there, explode out of there. I still feel like punt returns with him have an opportunity to be so much fun. We will get a good return at some point, and this is just such a good play call. Scotty Brennan to the 45. Now we are going to look for our tight end, JT Taggart. This is where stuff could get dangerous, though. Why are they pressing Zahale Smith? And then Trey Griffiths is going to get naked. Trey Griffiths, go off, buddy. He let me know he appreciated all the love that y'all were showing him on Instagram as well. He is a beast. He is the reason that we had a good season last year. I think it's really fun that we get to have moments like that with players that play in real life, and they get to see the success from our dynasty. One more play before the 2-minute timeout. We are going to fall just past the marker. I feel like Winston Malone hasn't had his Devon Rice moment yet, but at some point this season, he's going to break off a big one. It does feel a lot less likely against a team like Boise State, though. I was not expecting their roster to be as good as it is. In the future, whenever we get better conference invites, assuming we continue to do well, DJ Kelly, the transfer, the junior, getting his first interception for us. He's also worth any penny. But in the future, if we do well, Boise State is going to be a yearly opponent because I'm sure the Pac-12 would want Hawaii. That is such a major play for us, though, as we are just going to look at the RPO. If it's not there, take a handoff. We're going to run clock. This is our opportunity to have full control of this game. You have to hit that pass. Unfortunate from Trey Sheffield. I'm not even thinking about scrambling on 3rd and 7. I'm just waiting for one of our 2 studs on the left side to get open. It does seem like a wide receiver screen is going to work with about 30 seconds left too. Never mind. Never mind. I thought that somebody was going to be blocking there. It's going to be 3rd down. It is a huge play, and I couldn't tell you what the routes are. What a game from EA. Fit it in there. Fit it in there. Trey Griffiths gets the receiving touchdown, and we are up 21-7 on Boise State. You know, this might be the best that we have looked to start a season. There have been some rough games. Not my fault at all. The question becomes, can we continue this momentum into the second half? I can already tell Winston Malone is getting a little bit beat up, so maybe he doesn't need as many carries. Not sure what else we could do right there either. They just sniffed that out from a mile away, and Trey Griffiths finds a way to the ball. I feel like you just have to give him his credit so far. He's been better than Zahale Smith, but the two of them just open up our offense to a whole other level. This is what we have dreamed of This is literally what I was hoping we could eventually get to as a team, being able to have an air raid attack. What we have learned is our running backs get very beat up, and then we hit mid-season, they're missing a game or two. The only way to avoid that is not feeding them as much. Now, if Winston Malone is going to feast, we are going to let him run. You got to keep them a little bit honest, though. Like, Trey Griffiths could have a touchdown right here. Zone coverage. Oh, Scotty Brennan. Scotty Brennan's open. We have so many guys on our team that can finally make some plays. I mean, this team is just something special at the moment. I don't know if we're going to play this way throughout the entire season. I don't know if we're going to keep this up through the game. It has been a very strong start, though. I'm very happy with how it's going. And got to make that tackle. Got to make that tackle. Here on 2nd and 2, Tyreek Tate trying to sniff out the run. But Boise State's going to get it going. We cannot take a 21-point lead for granted. We have seen some chokes throughout this series. I also, just reading through some of the comments from the last video, noticed that we expected to beat some teams, and that's when it went wrong. Whenever I'd start getting really comfortable about how the game was going, we would fall apart from there, or maybe we wouldn't go in playing as well. So far, I think we have done a lot better of that, setting the tone against Boise State. I can't believe that they're kicking here. Now, I think it's next week we play rivals Fresno State. After that, it is number 6 Oregon and number 7 Tennessee. I don't think that was really the carry that Thurman was hoping for there, so we're going to let him get this one. We're going to let him get another. We actually paid Justin Thurman more money than Winston Malone. I just don't love him as much as I loved Winston Malone. What we've seen so far, I mean, just look at Trey Griffiths go. You are legitimately watching a master at work. I don't know what next season's going to look like since he's a senior. I wasn't kidding, and we really do need to take advantage of this season and have a good year. Scotty Brennan is doing amazing things. Let's run this on 3rd and down, though. I don't think that they are going to be on Trey Griffiths. He slips. He slips. I'm glad it's not a fumble. You never know how those bounces are going to go. You don't know if it's going to be considered a backwards pass. We just decide to run on 4th and inches. That is going to set us up, headed into the 4th quarter in a perfect position. Are we starting to own Boise State, by the way? That was not something I expected this soon. The wear and tear on some of these running backs has got to be just insane, though, because the fact that we are already missing out on Winston Malone, it lets me know he might not be out there that much this season, and we got to get used to Justin Thurman. 3rd down, we throw it to him, and he has the first. I was doubting Trey Sheffield, and he might still have moments this season that prove why I should have been doubting him. However, for now, I really like what he is doing with this offense, and we're going to hand this one off again. Okay, on 3rd and 1, let's see. Are we able to pick this one up on the ground? You got to break through that tackle. It's 4th and inches. We are going to go for the QB sneak. That is a huge enough meter that I feel pretty confident in hitting it and falling forward. You have to imagine, even if our offensive line is not better than Boise State's defensive line, one of these days we're going to get through. There's the other part of me, though, that's just like, why not go to the air and make a read? Why not see who we're able to find? Trey Griffiths is short. I am still going to let him get this touch on 3rd and goal. Jet touch pass. He comes across, and Trey Griffiths, you need to fight your way through. He does. That is going to be us calling game against Boise State. Jaden Bradley, you got to get over to him, though. We are giving up a touchdown. There's 2 minutes, 9 seconds left. They're going to need to come back 18. I was trying to select onside recover, though, and it just didn't let us. So we're running back to this with Rob Jorgensen. Of course, he is able to come down. You know, my confidence at the moment is extremely high. What if we were able to upset an Oregon or a Tennessee? What would that do for the Hawaii football program? We just need to see how long we can ride this high throughout the season. I mean, Trey Sheffield might have just had the greatest game a quarterback has had passing-wise for us this entire series so far. Winston Malone and Justin Thurman combined for over 100 rushing yards still, but having Trey Griffiths and Zahale Smith to go to, both of them, just opens up the offense. We also have some coach abilities I haven't really spent on either. We could still get some of this stuff for recruiter, but I don't use the sway mechanic. I don't think the starting interest is really worth it. In my opinion, I would rather make sure that our quarterback stats are as high as possible. I like the boost to the short and medium accuracy. I would also like to start working on our defensive line. It's hard to get those upgrades, though. It's almost like there used to be some faster sliders right here. Oh, well, over on the recruiting side, we are trying to catch up by paying more money to Tyler Carrizosa. He only wanted 35, then we decided to offer 60, and you can see how much of a bonus, how much of an impact that has had on him. For Ronnie Malik, there's not much I can do. We're already maxing out how much it's going to let us pay him. The issue is Maryland has a tier 5 pipeline. So if we want the 92 speed, 95 acceleration receiver, we are just going to have to get lucky. We're having to pay David DeMarco 120. Sam Fua is a linebacker that nobody else seems to want, so that's a good sign for us. John Carter is from Hawaii. I haven't offered him a scholarship yet because he expects 90 NIL. And he's got 88 speed. It's not like he's bad. 53 press is what stands out. There's also part of me that believes we should probably be focused on getting an offensive and defensive line through high school. We will find out if it bites us in the butt that we are not locked into that at the moment. I just have more fun going after skill players. Jordan Malululu, he looks like a receiver that could be from Hawaii. I mean, even if it says California, he probably has some ancestry there. I learned that this apostrophe is called an Okina. Y'all let me know that in the comments. 91 speed on Sky Priestley. This running back could break off some big runs, but also Kai Alexander seems to be the number one. There is no way that they still have Christian Martin as a senior too. This is the third year that we have had to face him. During his sophomore year, Fresno State obliterated us, but last year we got our revenge. So at the moment, the series is tied up 1-1 in the series. There is no athletic director goals for beating Fresno State like there was last year, however, and we got paid out a ton of money for doing that. Our athletic director goals for the season are actually not that exciting at all. We can touch on that at the end of this game too. I really want to find ways to generate as much cash as possible because last year I feel like we had so much money come in that I can't understand where it came from. That's why I'm like, we must have gotten a massive donation to push towards a Mountain West championship. It is also going to be nice the next 3 weeks to not be at home because at the moment we are on a 6-game home winning streak and I don't like the risk of that falling apart. Here on 2nd and 10 after that run, went absolutely nowhere. I can't believe we caught that. They might be able to force a 3-and-out though. We will see. You know who we're going to be throwing this ball to. It's an option route, and he's got it. We haven't even gotten a target over to Fado over on the other side of the field, but that's because between Trey Griffiths and Zahale Smith, everybody else is kind of just a distraction for this team. Trey Griffiths going to get an opportunity to catch this one. 8 more. Then we're going to stay in hurry-up mode, keep the pressure on Fresno State. You got to be able to run through that. With Winston Malone having silver takeoff, if this is man-to-man coverage, I do think he would have been able to get open. Those halfback wheels are going to be something to keep an eye on throughout the season. Look at the Jets, though. He takes 2 little steps, and he is gone. Christian Martin is coming off a throw for 413 yards, by the way. I will never forget season 1 against Fresno State. They had a 96 speed running back who was also returning kicks. And it just crushed us. It literally just crushed us. I think we lost 42-21. It was not a good showing. We are not going to be able to get there either. DJ Kelly is getting routed up. You better start using that speed to catch him. This is already looking like it is just going to be a back and forth shootout. And Tyreek Tate getting knocked over by his own teammate. We should probably be shaded underneath here. PJ Souffrant might be able to get a pick 6. But they throw to the other side. It's another missed tackle. You know a team's going to be good when you could tell exactly what is coming, and you're still just not able to stop them. Okay, that was a little humiliating, but we are going to run with Trey Sheffield. This is something we didn't see last game. It is nice to know they need to at least respect the scramble, especially if our pocket is going to hold up. Nowhere for Winston to go. I'm not even going to fault him for that run. Are we going to see man-to-man coverage? We're not. So that's not amazing. However, man-to-man coverage here could be very dangerous for Fresno State. And we have Winston Malone. Turn around! There's been a couple times where Trey Sheffield just has not been able to connect with a very easy receiver to hit. It's getting frustrating. However, I also understand he is a 78 overall. He isn't going to be perfect, and he's going to make his mistakes. Let's get a hit stick going on Christian Martin. I hope he knows to not even ever try that BS on us again. DJ Kelly is selling. DJ Kelly is having a horrendous game. I'm almost positive we have paid him the equivalent in NIL of like $1 million. That is not what you want out of $1 million player. Martin was able to feel the pressure, by the way, and we get back to it with PJ. PJ Souffrant cannot hang on to the pick, though. We did everything that we were supposed to defensively. We jumped offside before this play, so it's a free one, and that is when DJ Kelly actually does something good for us. Might as well see if he can return this. It's not going to matter. I watched it happen before the snap, and that is one of our new players, one of the few guys that wasn't a starter last year. Junior Josh Roberts is selling a little bit. Are we going to be able to penetrate this run? Because I could tell you it's coming, and they're literally just showing us that they don't respect us. They think we're going to jump. Believe it or not, this is a very well-disciplined team. 3rd and 2. Try and get them to jump again and see what happens. Okay. Okay, you can have the first down. Okay, you're gonna get a little bit more. Kai Alexander is still the slower of the 2 backs, so we are grateful it is him out there. and we're going to need to play some flats. For Jaden Bradley to only have, I think, 84 speed, he covers more of the field than you would expect. They're just going to have a touchdown. So far, this game just feels so much different to what we faced off against last week against Boise State. You like our little lateral we schemed up, by the way, and we got to the 15? We might as well have just fair caught it. Oh, well, on 2nd and 2, if we could get the hot route off, we are going to finally give Fado a look. Just need him to come across and hang on to the ball. These Fresno State defenders are doing an incredible job, but there is no way that they are going to be able to guard both of these guys. We made the wrong read. Trey Griffiths does it. He does it again. The amount of times he has bailed me out from throwing an interception, it's got to be like 5. I'm not saying it's a crazy number, but 5 over the course of a season and a couple games, that is huge. This has a chance to be a big play to JT Taggart. I am glad that it worked out. We're now at the 35-yard line. Fresno State is going to give up a 5-yard run minimum or not. I see our offensive line, even though I'm pretty sure every player on there is like a 75 overall or better, is still struggling a little bit. Trey Griffiths, though, I needed that last block. On 3rd and 6, if Zahale Smith is able to beat that press, it would be wonderful. But ultimately, it is Trey Griffiths that is going to be open. Can he hurdle a defender? I was pressing the button. We're 10 for 12 right now with Trey Sheffield for 132 yards, so he's having a solid game. And stiff arm one of them at least. Not what we're looking for, though. I vowed to not run any more halfback screens in this series. Wide receiver screens are a little bit different. I feel like that didn't really work for us, though. On 3rd and goal, we're going to have him. And just like that, Scotty Brennan is in the end zone. It is 14-all with 2 minutes left. This is where players like Matthew Sherrills need to come up with an interception, or at the very least, we can't be giving up huge plays. How is he still in bounds? How is he still in bounds? I was trying to lead him out of bounds. Dude, what they did to the CPU, especially on Heisman this year, it's not even recognizable to the last 2 games. Okay, we just got bailed out like crazy. They reviewed the play, and sure enough, I think he stepped out of bounds here. They said he did. They took back the touchdown. Let's actually look at this closer, though. I'm not sure if they got this right. I mean, this is such a close call. You could argue either way. It doesn't seem like he touched the ground, but maybe he did. I mean, because that's our cleat. This is such a tight call. Fresno State didn't pay the $10 EA DLC package before this game to pay off the refs, clearly, though. I really don't think they would ever do that, but I would cry so hard if that came to the game. I'm basically saying it so they cannot do it. This is the greatest quarterback play of all time. I am telling you, the CPU is on drugs this year. We need to drug test this Fresno State team. 48 seconds left in the half. Just noticed they were chewing the clock, and they're going to get in. They're going to get in. If this is any indication of what conference play could look like for us this season, it is going to be a long season because Fresno State's in the Pac-12 now. They aren't in the Mountain West, but I would assume they are about the same caliber as the teams that we are going to be playing throughout the year. Obviously, Oregon and Tennessee are just going to be on a whole other level. But last season, if we didn't perform as poorly as we did, we could have beat Oregon. It might sound like a crazy statement, but if you didn't watch last season, you would not understand. Trey Griffiths, open and out of bounds. Scotty Brennan is actually going to be my read on this play. He is a very interesting route, and they're going to get back to it. How did they not catch it? Trey Sheffield should have had his first interception. He should have had his first interception, but we are not going to complain. Let's just be a little check down merchant. Turn upfield with Winston Malone. He's a receiving back, too. We might actually be able to have some of these halfback angle routes pay off for us this year. Step up and take a hit. I don't like where this is at, but we did get an ability on our kicker after we shanked a kick so bad against North Dakota State last year that slows down these longer kicks a little bit. And it was well worth it. Raheem Rivero is only a sophomore too, so we are going to have him for a while. Go ahead, throw the flat and see what happens. They almost did. I think we can get a really strong start to this 3rd quarter. I just left open a touchdown. I just left open a touchdown. Oh my gosh. It is a miracle that Christian Martin did not see that. One of the dangers of taking a safety up, you don't know what's going to be open, and we're going to get the sack. That's a double sack. Low half sack for Josh Roberts. He couldn't finish the play, but he is still making up for him jumping offside earlier. And Amari Bowens, this is the speed that we're looking for. All we have to do is take advantage of being in this position now. And this is a great start. I just got word that our starting strong safety, though, PJ Souffrant, is not going to be healthy for the rest of this game. So that's a major downgrade. Going from an 82 overall to 69 overall Amari Bowens. It doesn't have me thrilled for the second half, but we're just going to have to work with it. I can only imagine what it would be like to get a shifty ability on one of our running backs, too. We are just going to throw that behind Zahale Smith. That is one of the worst throws that we could have possibly had there. And on third down, JT Taggart is going to get the first. Trey Sheffield is still having himself a game. Very happy with him at the moment. We're going to have to throw, though. It just has set in that if we're going to get into the end zone, if we don't want to kick a field goal, what we have to do is go through the air. And he had him. He had him. If we see that even half a second sooner, we're up 24-21. Are we going to see man-to-man coverage on Trey Griffiths, though? There's just no way. They keep letting him get open. Did they not realize what he did last year? Also, weird little detail, but somebody is walking out of the stadium. I just watched them do it while we were kicking the extra point. I don't know why my eyes focused in on it. I just think it's kind of funny. Like, what do you think is going on in her head? Why are you leaving this game? Wait, she came back. She came back. She saw that we scored, and now she wants to see more. It's not even like this is a night game. It's not even like you're at an SEC school. You don't need to leave the game early to get to the bars. This is a huge drive for Fresno State, by the way. They had all this momentum in the first half, but it's kind of gone away, and this is when Christian Martin starts to run. I'm really interested to see what they do on 3rd and inches. We're kind of stacking the box. If they run straight up the middle, probably going to have the first. That is why we pay Tua Jackson-Mago, though, whatever he wants. I think at the end of this season, he's going to ask for quite a bit. If he is making plays like that, it is well worth it. Do not try to return this. Amari Bowen's having to start for us on defense. Him being that tired doesn't make it worth it for him to be our kick return any longer. Not sure Winston Malone has it in him to really hurdle defenders either. It's going to be 3rd and 1. This play has been one of my favorites throughout this entire series, though. You motion over the running back, and you also have a one-handed snag. That is why Zahale Smith is somebody that we were really willing to get. He just did that for the love of the game, too. He didn't need to snag it like that. I am telling you, the combo over on the left side of the field is absolutely lethal through the air. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Trey Griffiths already has 100 yards in this game, though, and there's just no way. There's no way that they bring that safety up and they give us a one-on-one. Okay. We're going to have to find Trey Griffiths. He was open. You know, that was basically a touchdown that we didn't get because Trey Sheffield made the read half a second too late. This punt, though, puts them out at the 7. Time to see what they are able to do. We got a Tampa 2 look, and now they're grabbing it with one hand. I was correct when I said this game is on drugs. This is a game between Hawaii and Fresno State. We haven't even gotten to the level where we're playing powerhouse schools, where we are fielding amazing rosters. It actually makes me like this rivalry so much, though. I was wondering if we were going to keep this non-conference rivalry going because there's only 4 non-conference games. I enjoy us playing different teams. I enjoy us having a chance to take down big opponents because that could really help out our school. But this is a game that we always need to have. The battle for the golden screwdriver is amazing. I can't be enjoying it that much, though, because it does seem like they're about to march down the field and at the very least tie this game up. Looks like we should be able to knock that one out. Here on 2nd and 10, Tyreek Tate. I feel like he has not contributed that much in this game so far, but it doesn't always need to be interceptions. Doesn't need to be flashy. We are still going to get them to a 3rd and 3. Matthew Sherrills is still going to bring himself up because we expected the run. It's Christian Martin that keeps it, though, and he breaks a tackle, too. I am not going to feel comfortable if they are able to get a touchdown. How did we just hold him up? Doing that from the ground is game-changing. Slant won't be there. Don't try to throw the slant. Why did no one tackle him? Okay, we have run a cover 2 shell on 3rd down, and they can't get it out. That is exactly what we're looking for. All we have to do, if they hit this kick, which I'm assuming they will, is march down the field and hit one of these ourselves. I will still try to run the ball one time, but if the run isn't getting us much, or even if I'm just feeling like going 5 wide, then we're going to go 5 wide. They bring the blitz. They stupidly bring the blitz, and we drop it. There is no way that Zahale Smith is selling like this for us. We're going to run an out route with Griffins. Hang on, let me get him on this if we can. I'm expecting man-to-man coverage here, and one of those 2 guys is about to get open. It's just so clean. I really do strongly believe if we just focus on this left side of the field, then we are going to be able to do something. Go down, slide. That also gives me the idea, is Trey Sheffield fast enough for us to effectively run the read option? I mean, you would expect them to play for the running back. They didn't, though. Winston Malone just had a massive hole. And right here, even though they tried to pursue him, he still does. This does open up an interesting spot for us, though. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. And I almost thought that we were going to throw that into the back of his head. What we are doing right now is we are giving Fresno State an opportunity to respond. But if Trey Griffiths is that open, you just have to take the touchdown. We have put the ball in the hands of Christian Martin. As a senior, is he going to go out as the loser in this series? He's trying not to, but I think we're going to hold strong here. I really do have faith in our defense. They've got better team chemistry now. They've developed a little bit more. If he decides to scramble, we are going to have a quarterback contain, and that's fine. I don't believe that is how you're going to beat us. Little bit scary to be sitting in this coverage, though should be able to only give up a few. I am willing to try it one more time, and whatever route he just ran, let's not give that up. Fresno State is starting to make some ground. We are still giving them the flat, and they're just taking it all. You know, if they're going to score, I would almost prefer if they just go ahead, get it over with already. I would like the opportunity to respond ourselves. Tyreek Tate was over that from the start. He was so close to getting the interception, and it does seem like we just got an audible here. You're not going to cook Tyreek Tate, though. It did take him out of position. It is really coming down to the end here. They still have one timeout left. Go for the hit stick. They still got it. Now what we need to do is pick it, pick it, pick it. That is why sophomore safety Caden Cook is not on the field more often, because he just isn't catching the ball there. He's not making the play that we need. Sitting in hard flats. Quarterback scramble is something that could be dangerous, but we get the sack. You know what? Forget anything I've said about Josh Roberts. That was the biggest play he has had so far. Why is he open? No, his foot wasn't in bounds. We're challenging this. We are challenging this. I am petty. If his foot is in bounds somehow, they can have the touchdown. I think he's out. I genuinely do not think that that was down. Okay. Okay, maybe it was. Maybe it was. We are going to have to go to overtime to beat Fresno State now. What if we didn't have to, though? What if there is a world where we are able to get into field goal range with 14 seconds left? You have to have a little bit of faith. You have to have a little bit of faith. Okay, that was not the start that I was hoping for. I think the stadium pulse is getting to us a little bit more than I was expecting, but we have him. We have him over the middle. Stiff arm. Fight for any extra yard. This is going to be an extremely long kick for a college kicker or any kicker in general. 64 yards for the win in the rivalry. To avoid overtime, we actually did decent here, but it's not going to go in. It's just not going to go in. We might have had a better chance at throwing up a Hail Mary. You know, I really don't appreciate that this game is shaping out to be one of those classics in this series that I see you all talking about a year or 2 years down the line in the comments. Like, what was it like to watch this? I thought that we were just going to have the rivalry win. It's just, there is so much talent that they have on this team. I can't even fault our defense. I'm not going to get on them. What I've learned so far between this game against Fresno State, playing Boise State the week before, if we can eventually get ourselves into the Pac-12, there are going to be so many classic matchups inside of that conference. I see that takeoff ability getting us 7. We just aren't going to earn a conference invite until we win a conference championship. At least a couple of times. I would like to think that it takes 2 or 3. We really just need to be worried about the Mountain West before anything else. He is going to be open again. You know, all this does is solidify that having a quarterback with 91 throw power is amazing. We were playing with Micah Alijado's 82 for our first 2 seasons, and although he was fast, there are so many throws that we have already seen that would have just not been possible. I thought that they were going to go with man-to-man coverage here. Should we fit this in? Should we fit this in? This is quarterback sneak territory. This is QB sneak territory for us to get the touchdown. The 2-point conversion is a little bit different now. We are going to look for Smith no matter what. This is a Hale Smith's ball. Maybe we put Griffiths on a slant as well. But I'm just expecting man-to-man coverage here. And if you're getting man-to-man coverage, our top guy should be getting open. What was that route? What was that route? You know, I do not like this one bit. Fresno State wins with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Caden Cook is just letting them throw for a touchdown. Just like that there in the end zone. Christian Martin is a beast. I have made sure to have a QB spy out there. We're also going to bring over Bradley just in case they did decide to run. He's open. He's open, and he's open too. Well, we are 1-1. We now go on the road to play Tennessee and Oregon. The battle for the golden screwdriver goes back to Fresno State. I am so glad we never have to play this man again. I genuinely just cannot believe it. Trey Sheffield got injured in this game. I see an injury next to him. Better not be for long. He got injured on that last throw in overtime. Winston Malone rushed for 117 yards. Trey Griffiths had 3 touchdowns, 139. By the way, in case you're wondering, these are our athletic director goals for the season. Basically, we need to force a bunch of turnovers and win some home games. I also found out that Micah Alejado went to USC. We should have put USC on the schedule. Luckily for us, pulling up the injury report, I am not seeing Trey Sheffield. We're going to set him to no practice either. He does not need to progress. He's basically as good as he's going to get. If there's any update on the recruiting side, we're still going to pay for Tyler Carrizosa. I would love to have a bunch of options at quarterback. Ronnie Malik, we have jumped up to first place on, and we are reaching top 5s. I just wasn't sure if we'd be in a spot with Hawaii at the moment where we could actually do some hard sells. If we're not even beating the Bulldogs, though, I really regret putting Tennessee and Oregon road games on our schedule. I just wanted to have a couple extremely difficult matchups before we got into Mountain West play. It was supposed to better prepare us for those games, but these are going to be some struggles. Dylan Raiola is playing for the Volunteers. He is a 90 overall quarterback. They have receivers to throw it to. I'm sure they're also going to have a running back that's decent. Antonio Hardy could be a lot better, though. Who knows? Maybe we are able to pull off this miracle, and if we do, that would do so much for our brand exposure. Now, you might be wondering, why is a team from Hawaii traveling all the way to Knoxville to play a game? And it's just because their coach, me, enjoyed my time in Knoxville last year when I went to a game against Georgia. I'll admit it, as a Kentucky fan, I'm not ashamed. It's an awesome place, especially for college football, and there's some food places I want to get back to. Now, is some good eats worth our football team getting smoked? Maybe not, but I like the chance at some big upsets, and they're breaking tackles. What's weird is we probably will have a better shot against Oregon just based off what we saw last year. They spend even more on their roster, though. Jet touch pass coming here. We fell for it. Watching the flat. Throw it. Throw it. Throw it. PJ Souffron is getting the interception. We lurked him from a mile away. And Dylan Raiola, you might want to go back to Oregon. You might want to go back to sitting on the bench, because that right there, that was not the read. I mean, the vibes could not be higher with that being how we have opened up this game. They now need to be able to drive 87 yards down the field. Don't get me wrong, it is very doable for Tennessee. They just shouldn't have taken that kick out. Going to be a run, and it's going to be 3rd and 6. Here we go. A huge opportunity. We're going to be in cover 2. And cover 2 is a little bit risky whenever they got routes like that. It is what it is, though. Probably should have been sitting in cover 3. And they're just getting more. Although we were able to get one stop, that is one stop in this game. It's going to be a very long one for us. As long as they're not breaking off big runs, though, I feel a lot more confident. I like how we are stopping the run so far. Just got to continue to plug the hole. Here on 3rd and 4, I highly doubt they go back to it again. But they're probably going to have some routes right there that we can cover. And just got to make the tackle. Just got to make the tackle. Okay, so here's the thing. They don't respect us, and we're stuck on Tua Jackson Magoa. We could have been able to stop them. That is so annoying, but at the same time, they were never going to punt on a 4th and 3. There was no need to. They were at a good spot on the field, and this just cannot be a route that we're given. You know, this is the defense that showed up against Fresno State. This is exactly why we lost to the Bulldogs. It's kind of crazy. We have not even had our offense step onto the field yet, and we're almost at the end of this first quarter. I have a feeling they're about to have an opportunity, though. Jaden Bradley with the hit. Okay, 1st and goal. It's a run. It's a run. And somehow he got through. I mean, we can run commit. We can put 8 guys in the box. They are probably still going to block with 6 successfully. It is now our turn to put a drive like that down the field, because we took out the kick and also got to around the 15. We have to go up against the Stadium Pulse, though. We have to go up against a defensive line that is going to shed like crazy. I'm not sure what to think of how this game is going to go, but final play of the first quarter, and it's a diving catch. We have to bring the energy. We have to be able to match what Tennessee is doing to win. One thing we cannot do is we cannot play scared. I actually like how they just moved around their defensive line, because we're shifty enough to get 6. That could have been even more yards, though. We are watching that slot corner right here, seeing who he decides to guard. It is just the freest play to Winston Malone ever. So far, so good. Now, with the read option, no need to try and pull that. Why are we running backwards? You just get sucked into some animations that you don't want to be in on this game. Another run will set us up to be in field goal range. Can't get more than that. It would have been cool if we just scored a touchdown there. They also have 6 guys up on the line. They do not want us to be able to run the football, but a jet touch pass is the best play call in this situation. One block, just one block. If we were able to hold that right there, I think that's a touchdown. But it's okay. We're really running effectively. Tennessee even decides to call a timeout. They were absolutely shook And Zahale Smith will get that touchdown. I mean, after that, we need our defense to step up for us. We're going to watch a short route like this, and we're giving up one of them. We're giving up one of them. So close. We literally almost made the play. Amari Bowens with the tackle. I have no idea how on earth that was not a first down, but shoot the hole and dive. Did he get it? He didn't. It is actually crazy that they did not mark that as a first down, that they did not mark their second down run as a first down, but we were able to hold strong. And now, opportunity for a return or just end the half with the ball. This is actually such a huge moment in this game. We're running the ball well. I don't know why Winston Malone made such a deep cut right there, but it's going to be 3rd and 10. There are only 2 players that I look at in this situation, and I think they're going to come out and cover 3, which is not really favorable for us, but Zahale Smith catches it. He keeps the drive moving, and he found the exact spot in the defense that we needed to find there. Now we can run it again. I'm a little bit questionable about this play, mainly because if they're guarding Trey Griffiths or if we can't block, all of a sudden it is 3rd and 2. If they run man-to-man coverages, Trey Griffiths going to be able to get open here. I think he is. They jumped it, though. They just jumped that. I tried to place it towards the sideline, and they're scoring a touchdown just like we got one. It is the mistakes like that that caused us to lose to Oregon last year. And it might cause us to lose this game, too. Did you see that missile from Trey Sheffield, though? I mean, what a throw. We're going to pitch this one. We're going to lose a lot. It actually makes me reconsider what we should do to end this first half. We're going to chew the clock a little bit. We're going to step tall in the pocket. And I think we can fit this in here, but he drops it. That might be the best play I've had climbing the pocket this entire series. And it's Trey Griffiths that's not able to come down with success for us. There's a flag. There is a flag. This has to be on Tennessee because that was not open. It wasn't open. Fortunately, we have been bailed out. I don't know what he did. I don't know how. This is a late hit. Roughing the passer just saved the day for us. And I really couldn't throw those routes. I was afraid with how good some of those Tennessee corners are that they would have been able to play it underneath. They are starting to eat too. I want a field goal at the very least. I want a field goal at the very least. I think that'll do it. We could still go for this, but the problem is if we don't get it, we won't have attempted a field goal because it's 4th down, and there's just not that much time left in the first half. So we're going to make sure that this is the final play. Could be 17-14. That is still a dub for us against Tennessee. It's just a 56-yard kick for Raheem Rivera. Might not go that well. It might not go that well, but does it have the distance? It does. You know, these guys in Knoxville are not going to be happy. They thought this was just going to be a light win. If we can just ignore the pick 6, it has been a solid game. I don't like all the wear and tear Trey Sheffield is suffering through. He is beaten up. He has gone through a lot. 2nd down, not anywhere to run. It makes it 3rd and 3, though. And this is actually a great chance for him to step up. I would like to get Zahale Smith on a slant on this play, especially since there's man-to-man coverage. Tennessee's man-to-man coverage hits a little bit different, though. On 2nd down, they could play this. They could play this. It's just tough. You know that that corner is most likely in a cover 2, and he is probably going to press us really well here. I mean, the play art is hard to tell what we're even going to be on. There's one route to throw, and they got pressure. That is the Tennessee defense I was afraid of headed into this game. We are going to need to somehow get, like, another pick 6. At least we forced him out of bounds. Give us a bubble, though. Give us something that we could actually make a really big play on, and we might succeed. I really am liking this Tampa, too. PJ Souffrant makes the diving tackle. It is now 3rd and 8, and we will be using him here. We will be using him here. That works. Okay, the fact that we just held Tennessee to a 3 and out actually is extremely calming. Upsets can still happen. Upsets can still happen. And cut it to this side. Amari Bowens is not going to be able to finish off the return. However, putting us at midfield is a great starting point for this drive. And I like it. I like this run a lot. Winston Malone is having himself a day. It does seem like he is just going to be open immediately in the flat here. And using takeoff, 15 more. This is where we might make a mistake depending on what the defense shows us. I didn't want to throw it. Tennessee is making it harder and harder to run against them, but it will be 3rd and 4. Okay, Trey Griffiths is the receiver that I'm thinking about here. And he's open. He's open. He's able to hang on to it and throw a guy off of him. You know, we get a touchdown here, and that upset is feeling very, very likely. Come on. Come on. I can't believe he got a hand on us. This would just be historic. Bubble screen. The bubble screen. Why are you running into each other? I understand this might not be the right call, but I do want to run back the play that we just ran. Scotty Brennan could get open too here. I just have to trust Scotty. I have to trust Scotty, and we put it right into his hands with two dudes in our face. Trey Sheffield's amazing. It is just remarkable right now to be up by 10 points against number 2, Tennessee. Come on. Make a mistake. Give us an interception. They haven't had the best offense. They really haven't. That's a horrible angle. That is a horrible angle. I went for the hit stick. We're going to bring Matthew Sherrills down here, and then we are going to cover that too. Back-to-back big plays. We are going to just act like that stiff arm of doom didn't happen to us either. Final play of the third quarter. It's time to lock in. It is time to lock in, and they knew we were trying to play the wide receiver screen. I think what is going to be hard about this spot is they can either kick a field goal, make it a one-possession game, or they could have gone for it on 4th down. Then on 1st and goal, they just go short, and he is in. You know, there is way too much time left in this one for us to only be up by 3. I am so nervous for this final 6 minutes. They are just reading out the halfback draw. We know that we're going to have to make some big plays to win this one, though. On 3rd and 7, Scotty Brennan potentially gets open. Trey Griffiths potentially gets open. I don't believe that they are going to send all 6 of those. What are we doing, Tennessee? Why would you leave Winston Malone open? If anything, that one is going to hit the crowd more than anything else. This was a run. It was hard to tell. Now 2nd and 11. We're going to step up. Why did you pump fake? Why did you pump fake? Trey Sheffield second-guessed himself there. That is not what we need. This is a tough 3rd and 11. It really is. But we go to JT Taggart, and he just didn't get open. For a second there, it looked like he was going to, and then he didn't. That is unfortunately what happens when you're working with a 75 overall. It is not the end of the world, though. Our defense has gotten stops on Tennessee, and our defense is over him. There was nowhere to run. Josh Roberts having an incredible game. We might need to drop back into coverage with him, though, on 3rd and 9. Hit stick. Hit stick. It's still a catch. This look is going to make it very hard for them to run the football, but a lot easier for them to pass it. I guess that was not the time to try out the 5-2. I believed in it. We needed 2 hook curls, not 1. And what? There's a flag before this play as well. You can just tell that we are starting to collapse, that Tennessee is starting to be in a better spot. And why would you engage with that block there? Well, we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to take down Tennessee. And I'm going to be honest, this might not be it. It might not be it. A couple of other reads I was looking at, though, were also not there. Let's just get a halfback draw out. Let's get a halfback draw out. They're sniffing them out. It does feel like we need to go 5 wide and just make some faster reads. Curl. Curl. Okay. 4th and 1. This is an awful decision if they're ready for it, but I don't think they are. Trey Sheffield, QB blast. Trey Sheffield, QB blast. He got it. See, now we got to lock in. Now we got to have some big plays, and that's 5 more. This is a hard spot to be in, but we could upset number 2 Tennessee in Knoxville with Hawaii. Trey Sheffield just made a huge play for us, and we had someone open, but it's a fumble. It's a fumble, and we're not scooping it up. What are you doing? Why are you not? This game. They just hit the 6-7 on us, too. What am I playing? Trey Sheffield's holding his back. I mean, this is just a disaster. We were actually open, too. We were open there. He just didn't get it out in time. This is a heart-wrenching game for us to lose, too. Because, what? They've scored now 21 straight points? Has Trey Griffiths gotten the ball much? We still have 3 timeouts left. I do just want to take note of that. Is he out of bounds? I think so. I really did like that route, but we're going down. This is where it all falls apart. There's only 36 seconds left. I don't like taking this. I don't like taking this because we're not going to get out of bounds. We've had to start using timeouts. Trey Sheffield still holding his back, and Trey Griffiths got almost nothing. Okay, from here on 4th and 4, if we are able to hit this kick, which we are going to hit, we still have a chance. I really hope that they mess this up. They're going to scoop it up, though. Tennessee gets the win. We got to be proud of our boys for putting on the show that they just did. I mean, to be competitive with the Volunteers already takes a lot. It does really stink this is how it went, though, because that 1 pick 6 from Trey Sheffield changed the entire game. We could have won that game without the pick 6. It just seemed like he could have placed it a little farther on the sideline. What can I say, though? It was a good play from the Tennessee corner. We actually need to start scheduling visits week 5 against Northern Illinois just to have a chance at signing some of these guys. It does seem like there's a marker that tells us what type of bonus we get from this, and the visit is actually going to hurt Tyler, so maybe we shouldn't have put him on one. We're just going to rock with it, though. We're going to get both those receivers in for that weekend. For some of these 2-stars, we actually needed those hours to compete, so maybe it was a mistake. Before that game, we can't look past number 4 Oregon on the road, though. They still have Malik Washington as their quarterback. They average 43 points per game this season, only give up 18. It is not ideal, but there is a very high chance that we are starting this season 1-3. Malik Washington's now an 84 overall, 93 speed, 98 acceleration on Demario Delancey. He is simply going to have some burners. I'm sure other players on their team will as well, but if we came close against upsetting Tennessee, maybe we do the same against the Ducks. But before that, a word from Underdog, today's video sponsor. The last time that I talked about them, I told you all I was letting my girl make picks on my account, so we got to continue that story. First of all, I don't appreciate her back in Jude Bellingham, because what does she know about soccer? It did work out, but I got the Holland pick wrong, so we were incorrect here. This one was a team effort too. She picked the tennis player, I decided to fade Joey Chestnut, and I couldn't believe it worked. Underdog is available in almost every single US state, and they're still giving $50 to anybody that signs up using my code, CODEBOARD. You just have to place a $5 entry first. If you do, please play responsibly, and let's get back to the video. Coming off putting down 15 boneless wings and having dinner with the boys, I am ready, more ready than ever, to face off against Oregon. You know, you get 15 wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they're babies. You can put those down. You get 15 from Roosters. Well, I'll just tell you, it doesn't settle as easy, but I am full. And I'm hoping we can start this game with an interception or something. We were not able to get Malik Washington to throw at Tyreek Tate. It is unfortunate because what gave us such hope against Tennessee was the fact that we started that game with a turnover, and he should be taking a sack here, but he doesn't. We are going to have some issues stopping Oregon. However, here on 3rd and 4, I was able to get a QB spy out there. He almost snagged that. I mean, that would have just been ridiculous to catch that with one hand. We're able to stop them. I was not expecting that. I kind of figured they were just going to pick up the 4th down and then eventually get a touchdown. Okay, on 2nd and 8, we're going to look short, not get much farther. It will make it 3rd and 7, and it's hard to tell what play is even out there. Looking to run with Sheffield. I mean, I tried to just throw it up because there was nowhere to go. We get a hard-earned stop, and Oregon is able to stop us right back. That is not the best our offense has looked throughout this series so far. We really cannot afford to not get points on many of our drives unless this is going to be a defensive battle. I just imagine Oregon figures out how to score soon. Here on 2nd and 5, they continue to change up their formation before almost every play. It's very impressive. They got me to bite with that play action too. They are abusing this new mechanic. We cannot prepare for the looks that they are showing us out there. I have an idea though. We're only going to send 3. We're going to drop a lot of guys back into coverage, and they still have somebody open. They break off of a tackle, and I think we all know how it's going to end. So that was not ideal, but if we come out strong here, find our open receiver, Winston Malone, gonna get around a defender too. That is how we work our way back into this game. Might as well throw the bubble, see if we can get around him. Not as much luck there. Brooklyn Cheek was able to make the tackle. Gonna be 3rd and 3. This is already feeling like it is 4 down territory for us. I felt like a scramble could be there, but Trey Sheffield is just slow. That's the reality. We also do not want him taking too many hits in this game. That run sets us up for a 2nd and 10 where he gets to it. Now it's 3rd and 10, and we're really just going to have to look over at Winston Malone, but they jump it. They jump it. They knew who I wanted to throw to. We were going to get a field goal out of that drive. It is what it is. As long as we are able to prevent them from picking up a 1st down, we can have it back. That is not going to happen, though, and Tyreek Tate reads it. Tyreek Tate reads it. What a play, just like against Tennessee. Don't try that stuff. Do you think they're dumb enough to do it again? Because I actually think that they will. And it's going to be a run. All it really takes is one of those pick sixes, and the game just opens up. But I thought that I got these 2 in some deep blues, and they got another touchdown. That was literally our zone. I thought I was just going to shoot up through the middle and either get a sack or stop the run if they ran. We just cannot be making mistakes like this against the Ducks. Trey Griffiths is going to be locked down here. You can just tell that they are in some man-to-man coverage, and still he's able to find 8. Okay, 2nd and 3. Get the pitch off and get around these defenders. I'll tell you right now, Oregon is not making things easy for us. but that was the right choice. I really do want to see if we can get a big play against them here. We're really relying on getting open. I'm not sure if Zahale Smith or Trey Griffiths got open there, though. I mean, he's just getting clamped. This is actually nuts. They are putting Zahale Smith in a body bag, and we can't get off the throw. Well, it is going to be a very challenging field goal. But what's up with the Ducks' face there? Is it trying to throw us off? You should be able to see it before you kick it. I understand that you can't from that camera angle. Maybe that's a sign that we get a different camera angle to click, because that would have been hilarious to see while I'm trying to lock in. I swear, if he gets a touchdown out of this, this is what happens when you play the big schools. This is why I thought Tennessee was going to beat us by 40. We have decided to try and get into a shootout with Oregon, and we're not going to come out on top. They just have playmakers everywhere. This team is really good. Halfback draw on second down. Some really nice blocks. We needed that bad. I'm hoping that we can end this first half with points ourselves and then work from there. Just not a good throw from Trey Sheffield, though. Even though we were open, it's going to be 3rd and 6. I'm not sure who we are about to feed this rock to. Turn around. Turn around before they come down and turn around. I think it's just going to be a tradition to throw like 4 picks against Oregon. I don't know why his curl route was so deep either, because pre-play, he was supposed to have stopped like 3 or 4 yards before he did. Can we bait him? Can we bait him? No, we cannot. I think there is a lot of motivation lost from how the Tennessee game ended that isn't going to translate here. Just being honest, that was the one. 3rd and inches, we're back out there in the 5-2, and we'll get the stop. This is interesting. They are settling for 3 on a 4th and inches. If I were them, I am not doing that. We have shown them absolutely nothing that proves we are going to be hard to beat. They might just be playing it safe, though. And look at some of their coverage. We are struggling to get guys open. We're just going to fit it into that window. We could not have done that last year. There it is. Another benefit to having a strong arm QB. For Justin Thurman, though, he just hasn't been able to run much in this game. We are now on a 3rd and 5, and we're looking down our top 2 receivers. We'll make it 4th and 3. Oregon is also calling a timeout. You know, this is where we go 5 wide. I just figured out what buttons are what, and we're going to have to throw this. We're going to have to throw this. Hang on. It was a risky call, but it is going to pay off for the time being, and he's going to get back to that. It is now 2nd and 10. I think it is best if we just run. Really struggling to make some reads here, but the zig route from Trey Griffiths is going to get him open, and he's not quite in. Do we think that Trey Sheffield has this in him? Do we think Trey Sheffield is about to get into the end zone? I mean, QB draw could have worked. Ultimately, I think what we are hoping for is some zone coverage, and that's what we see. That is what we see. You all just witnessed our chance at staying in this matchup. It's impressive that we've even been able to put up 17. That is off a couple turnovers, too, that were avoidable. On second down, we are actually able to get him open. Deshaun Fed has been so silent this season. He's really kept being a distraction. Maybe this is the game that changes. Scotty Brennan with an opportunity here. Maybe not. It did seem like they were going to guard him, and on 3rd and 12, we will look at Trey Griffiths. We will probably get this to Trey Griffiths. He got open. He got open, and we weren't able to throw him the football. Now he has to moss him. I just can't believe that he actually got open there. It looked like he was going to get locked up, so I tried to look elsewhere. Whoever was supposed to be playing that zone did not do a very good job. Fortunately for us, we got them on a 2nd and 15, and play action. Is Malik Washington going to run here? He is. He is. Okay, here we go. 3rd and 8. I am watching this team. Andrew Olish already has a couple of touchdowns to their tight end, so that is somebody else that we got to be a little bit wary of. Can we make the tackle? We do. You know what? We are competing with Oregon. We are getting stops back and forth against them. Maybe our offense is struggling a little bit, but this is making me very optimistic for Mountain West play. I really am hoping that we are just able to throw against a lot of the teams inside our conference. It would genuinely make my life so easy if we could. On 3rd and 4, though, it's Trey Griffiths. It is Trey Griffiths or nothing here. And we hit the wrong button. We hit the wrong button. He was even open. It's just that stadium pulse always throws me off. I'm never able to actually figure out who it needs to go to. They're going to have a chance at a really good return here. Got to crack him. Got to crack him. This is what I would expect against Oregon, though. Our offense not doing as hot. They have a huge overall advantage on defense. It is really showing. Are they motioning him over to run this football? They are. No, they got us. We don't have a deep blue. We did not have a deep blue. That was basically just us begging them to score a touchdown. We're going to go hard flats, and we got beat. Tyreek Tate got beat. He still is able to run Malik Washington in the open field. This is just such a tough team, and I thought we were going to get an RPO there. Almost got a pick. You know, we are putting up a better fight than teams like James Madison did in the playoffs, so that is saying something. I do think that we are set up really well for the year. When it comes to winning this game, though, third down, make the tackle. That's annoying. There is nothing I would love more than to take down the Ducks. They are going to be able to run for a bit. To be real, Demario Delancey's not been that much of a threat outside of that one breakaway touchdown. I just don't know how to stop Oregon through the air. It's a screen. It's a screen, and they're still fighting. If we are going to go down by 14 points, we might as well just give Oregon the win. That is going to make things very hard on us. We have got to get a goal line stand. A goal line pick would be even more special, but we can't get there. I really thought that we were going to be able to do that. If we make this throw, though, to Trey Griffiths, and he breaks off of a tackle, it's not over. That Trey-to-Trey connection has been going crazy this season. Noticing Zahale Smith is open short. I've seen enough, though. Get Trey Griffiths the football again, where we lose 3. Okay, 3rd and 8. We need to make sure that we are protecting the football. No need for an interception. I would much rather this be a 4th and manageable for us. Most likely, we are going to go short to our receiving back, but he is not catching it. The second I saw him run that route, I knew that while I was staring him down, there was like a 0% chance that play went our way. And this is the type of stuff we just want to avoid. Without a turnover, this game is over. However, this still does look better than what happened last year. Putting USC on the schedule probably would have gone similar to this. I just wanted to make sure that we played some top teams this season, and the rematch against Oregon was welcome. It is always hard to know who we want to use for non-conference games, though. If you all have suggestions on what you want to see in the comments, let me know, because we've now played USC, we've played Oregon, we've played Boise State, Fresno State, our rivals. There's been a couple others, too. Here on a 2nd and 9 halfback screen, get off of the tackle. Okay. Now, I'm not saying we have a great chance here, but we are going to bring in some pressure so we can get a sack, and that's when they just roll out and complete the pass, going down to the 10. Unfortunately, with them running down the clock from here, it is over. It is a little bit of a hard pill for us to swallow, but at the same time, I am super excited for conference play. I'm really not sure if there's much benefit of even trying to score. What are you going to do, though? It's not like you can just give up in the game. Let's make this throw on the run. Let's make this throw on the run to Winston Malone. It is wild how once a game opens up, you can hit a flow state offensively. This really just needs to carry over to next week, and I think we're going to be okay. I really don't like taking that sack, though. I'm not quite sure what the plan was there. It is seeming like the touchdown is not even going to occur, and how do you turn this into a touchdown? How do you turn it into a touchdown? That at least would have made the score look a little bit better than it was. They just shut our offense out in the second half, though, and the stats show for it. I'm hoping that that's the worst game statistically we have on offense all year. We will just have to wait and see, though. Remember, this next game against Northern Illinois is a very big deal because we have both these receivers on a visit, and we also have the gym quarterback, Tyler Carrizosa, on a visit, all against the Huskies. Their highest 2 overall players happen to be punters, but they do have a few offensive threats. Whit Edwards at receiver, Dennis Murray Jr. at running back, he is a senior now, and Tyler Chambers at QB. It just seems to me like this is not going to be one of the easier teams in the Mountain West. They have already won 2 conference games. Nobody else has done that so far. It is just something that I'm taking note of. It's also a visit week for us, so we got to keep that home winning streak going. They average just 20 points per game. Maybe that's a good sign, but we're giving up 34. I don't know how this is going to go, but we are going to bring out the throwbacks for this one. And I think next season, I want to get a jersey refreshed of some different stuff. I think it's only right that we update our jerseys before we move into a new stadium a year later. There's just exciting times coming in Hawaii football. I love that we're running through the band. You know, between the good weather and our winning streak, I thought there'd be more fans. I'm actually incredibly disappointed how many seats are open in the crowd. It is just going to be what we are working with for now, though. On 1st and 10, we could be able to intercept that. Unfortunately, we can't. At least Dwayne Mahoney is just helping our defense swarm, though. I think it was last season that Northern Illinois had like the best tight end in the conference. They were a pretty tough team to face off against. I'm pretty sure their quarterback has not changed either. They ran it on 3rd and 12. Just very interesting play calling that we are seeing so far. Also, why does every punter kick it like 60 yards on this game? That is something I've noticed using the speed, we will be past midfield. This is starting to feel more like the tempo I was hoping for, and we should be a lot better than them. We might be 1-3, but I built this roster to win a Mountain West championship. It did not seem like it right there, though. We are going to need to make this throw between all those defenders and then start running. Trey Sheffield literally just has to cook. And that could have been picked, but somehow Trey Griffiths comes out with it. It really is like a cheat code. I don't understand how he continues to do it. They have a spy. I should have thrown it. I've also noticed that Justin Thurman has already come into the game. He's going to have an opportunity to turn this into a touchdown. We might only be getting a field goal, though. It'll depend if Trey Griffiths can get open or not. He is going to be locked up right there. I can't believe it. When does Trey Griffiths get locked up? And they return it. And they return it all the way back for 6. This is not the start that we needed. That is probably a lesson to not just force the football. You know how I was so high on Trey Sheffield? Well, he's going to need to make some throws like this. Maybe then he can earn my trust back. What about over on that other side? Are we able to keep on just getting it down the field? I mean, Trey Griffiths is making up for that horrible route, catching that ball on top of him. Winston Malone exploding. From here, there is just one thing that we need to do. Our favorite play. Our favorite play. Hold your block. I really like RPOs in this situation, but I just don't think the NIU is going to give us a touchdown off of one that should have been one. It is now 3rd and goal. Do you think that they're going to fall for this? I really have a feeling that everything's going to be locked up, but we catch it with Deshaun Fed. Well, there hasn't been too much resistance to our offense. We gave them the 7 points they scored. This carefree attitude, though, has cost us games in the past, so we do need to lock in a little bit. With all those routes taken away, we're going to hit them, and we're going to force the fumble, but they get it. Looks like they are going to review if it was even a fumble in the first place. I thought he was already on the ground. This is actually a big call, though, because if he's down here, they don't get another 3 or 4 yards. Now that it is a 3rd and 4, we run man-to-man coverage, and they're not going to have it. I am telling you, stuff like that is such a big difference maker. Amari Bowens takes this return. He cuts inside. They get a hand on him. NIU, though, is going to really need to fill this box if they want to stop the run. What we should have done this entire time is just spread them out and then go for a halfback draw. It is going to lead to an explosive play for Winston. You really just have to take what the defense has given you. That is what we will be doing right here. And I don't think he's going to turn around and get a hand on it. We might be going for too big of plays, though. Let's just hand this one off. It is going to be a potential first down, 3rd and inches. I do think we should be winning that battle up front, though, and they are going with man-to-man coverage here. Are you kidding me? I mean, this just has to be a touchdown to Zahale Smith. This is why we spend the big bucks on him, and you just got to let him go out and get it. You know that New Mexico has to be so salty. They aren't going to have him this season. I cannot wait for him to go up against them and go for like 200 yards. We shouldn't have spun there, by the way. I think we could have had a touchdown if we didn't, but it's okay. They are going to run some man-to-man coverage, and we should be able to just throw this into the end zone. It's a good catch from Trey Griffiths. He actually got open this time. He has learned from his mistakes. I just don't see that stadium pulse getting very loud, and that is something that I was hoping we could work on. The playmaker is brutal. Tyreek Tate has to know better, though. You can't just leave him open. Here we go, though. 2nd and 9. We're just going to stick on Jaden Bradley, and they've thrown it to the other side of the field. So not much I could have done there. Matthew Sherrills, bring him down. We got our safeties kind of low, and it's going to be a draw. It is going to be a draw. Big hit. I can't remember the last time that we forced a fumble and were able to recover it, though. That was a good call to run the read option, and you got to hit him. You got to hit him hard. This has been a drive for Northern Illinois. How are we not intercepting that football, though? It's going to be run. It's going to be run. You could tell immediately. I don't know how we are supposed to stop the Huskies because we got to get back there. We got to get back there. It is what it is, though. Nice little play from them. Trey Griffiths is going to spin out 2 defenders. He is just taking leaps forward heading into his senior year. Part of that is he did get faster. I still cannot believe last season he only had 86 speed, and he was as good as he was. He's a really good route runner. This is one of those plays that could even turn into a touchdown for Winston Malone if he went up the middle. Sometimes his vision is a little bit off. It is holding him back, but we are going to have Taggart, and he's at the 10. This is the best Hawaii's offense has looked this entire series. It's not even close. We are scoring a lot easier. What about our defense, though? Are we going to be able to get some stops before the end of this half? I feel like through the air, we have not been that great so far this season. We've given up a lot of yards. The frustrating part is that is with an improved defense too, focusing on stopping the pass. So we needed a interception like this one where it just goes into the hands of PJ Safran. He was standing there. He did absolutely nothing. The sophomore is going to take that every day of the week, though. A little bit of a good game for Taggart. We're trying to get him more involved, and if we end this first half with a touchdown, going to be hard for NIU to come back. I'm almost positive that they had the ball first. So that means to open up the third quarter, we are going to be in a prime position, and just placing that ball there, being able to turn around and catch it is a huge deal. Break off of that tackle. 2nd and 4 now. You know exactly who we are going to. Then on 3rd and 1, the blocks are there. The blocks are there. It is probably best if we just throw for the touchdown. How do you want to open up the second half, though? Because I can tell you how I want to open up this second half. I can tell you right now, are they going to bring that safety down? They aren't. But we got to get it out. Maybe we got too aggressive, but they're giving us that same look 2 times in a row, and I am stubborn. I'm really stubborn. They baited me, though. They baited me twice, and it has worked. Now, we have to be able to pick up this 3rd and 10, and for whatever reason, Smith just ran straight by number 12. I didn't even have to make a read. I saw him just go. From this point, I am feeling really good about our home winning streak. PJ Safran with the wrap-up tackle, too. He is just having an incredible season. It's about to be 3rd down. We'll see what NIU has planned, and you got to hit him. You got to hit him. This has turned into a night game, too. I was really thinking that we would have some more fans in the stands, but I guess we started the year 1-3. That probably is not helping out with getting fan support. Maybe by the end of this season, we're going to see a bit more of a stadium pulse advantage and building up that loyalty. It is weird to think of this game is already over too, but it's 3rd and 16. They're literally just running the football, and I pass committed. It's not over. Shocker. They are back in it. We really thought that we were just going to have a huge play in the 3rd quarter, and that would be it from there. I mean, we're still dominating. We just need to keep running the ball, and if they can't stop Winston Malone, they're not going to be winning. It is more important than ever. We just keep that clock running. Nowhere to go. 2nd and 12. We are just going to be patient, and since that block didn't hold, I can't believe we got 5. This is where the Huskies could be getting us off of the field, but unfortunately for them, they cannot guard Trey Griffiths. That one play where they were able to get a pick 6, I mean, he's going to run that route and still get clammed. Should have known better there. It's just against other teams. That has always done really well for us, and we can run for a touchdown instead. That's a big hit. A little bit of a big hit. I'm impressed we held on to the football. Jet touch pass coming. Are they going to be able to score fast again? I don't think so. I really would like this game to end right here. I'd like to go into the 4th quarter in a great spot, but it's just not good defense. You know, one of the Huskies' issues is their quarterback. He is inaccurate. Some of his throws have been costly, and that was Tui Jackson-Magoa getting his hands on for a sack. Unfortunately for Northern Illinois, as this one goes on in the 4th quarter, it's becoming more and more clear who's winning. It does seem like Justin Thurman is going to get the opportunity to score the touchdown, and he can't fight his way through. I'm going to let him run it back with less than 4 minutes left. There it is. We are going to finish this one winning 49-21. Trey Sheffield just threw for 367 yards, 5 touchdowns. There is a world where he could have potentially had 6 too. Outside of that one bad throw, really good game from him. Really good game from Winston Malone. It was not Trey Griffiths that was our number 1 receiver, though. 195 yards for Zahaley Smith. It was such a big week for us because we're going to see multiple players verbally commit. In the coming weeks, I'm hoping that we can just close out these battles. We got the hard commit out of Ronnie Malik, too. What I do find really annoying, by the way, is just the bugs that are in this game for Hawaii. It cost us 40 to schedule visits for 2-star players that are from Hawaii. Why does it cost 40? Why is there still all the bugs around recruiting in the game for Hawaii's location? Listen, it's not even me being nitpicky either, because they're in the game every year on launch, and then they patch them, and then they come back and they're broken every single time. I just don't get it. We do have 40 coach points to spend, though, so we are going to get both of these upgrades. If we level up one more time as a head coach, we can boost our tackling stats and our play recognition too. And let's go over to our conference standings. Wyoming is a 59 overall team, but they are 2-0, so interesting. Going to keep an eye on them. I'm also trying to figure out which of these teams is the one that we are not going to have to play throughout the season. It's North Dakota State this time. They're not on our schedule. It also looks like we're going up against friend of the channel, Eugene Hilton Jr., T.Y. Hilton's son. That is one of the best players on their roster. God's Power Nawawawihi. Is he Hawaiian? It feels like such a crazy thing to say sometimes about some of these last names, but if I see like a U-I-H-E, some W's in there, it seems like it is. It turns out that last name is not Hawaiian. It originates from southeastern Nigeria. I'm still terrified. A running back named God's Power, he is going to be a monster. Tim Wideman, 87 speed, 91 acceleration. If they decide to run the football, we could be in trouble. He only completes 55% of his passes, though. This is going to be a road game for us. We score so many more points than most of the teams in our conference, but we also give up more too. I will say, I feel like we just played at Allegiant Stadium last year. Maybe I'm mixing up the seasons. Either way, it is time for the 9th Island Showdown, and we are literally playing against the coolest first name I have ever seen. You can already tell that this first play is going to be a carry to him, and he's spinning 15. Okay, to stop God's Power, we might actually have to lock in PJ Souffrant. Bring him down into the box. And he still breaks off of a tackle. What are we facing off against? What type of player are we facing off against? This is ridiculous. You can't make this up. I actually love the details in the stadium too. How the lower bowl is full. The middle bowl is like half full. And then if you look up in the nosebleeds, there's almost nobody there. So it looks a little bit more realistic, like how a stadium would fill out. So last year in the 9th Island Showdown, we dominated against the Rebels. They only scored 10 total points. But you're telling me this year they already have 7? He had to get a foot in. You know, as long as there's no review, that is going to work for me. I do feel like our run blocking, by the way, versus these conference opponents is so much better than it was against some of those bigger schools. Not here. It is now 3rd and 7. We are going to hope that they give us a man-to-man coverage look, and they don't. It's zone. It's zone. It's zone. Just like that, we are taking the sack. We cannot lose this game. It's so early, I cannot be worried. I just cannot believe how that last drive went. He's averaging like 30 yards a carry. It was 2 plays. They were in the end zone. God's Power isn't going to get the carry here. Good tackle from PJ Souffrant. It is going to make it 3rd and 7. Tyreek Tate is going to be the user. Did we just jump? We just jumped. It is a little surprising to me, by the way, how little Rob Jorgensen has been out there on the field. 3rd down run is going to work. It's going to work for a lot. God's Power's done it again. Catch him. This is the best running back we've ever played. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. Man-to-man coverage. Turn upfield. Turn upfield. It's almost like we just need to send the blitz. We almost just need to go for huge gains. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. Trey Griffiths. Trey Griffiths. He's the greatest. He is the greatest. What is in his system? How is he able to make catches like this? Nobody else can do what he does. I've never seen anything like it. He is a 78 overall receiver. He does not have catching stats, but he still is able to make all those plays. Like, I'm pretty sure his catching stats are just very average. He is such an exciting player. It is going to be so sad when he graduates at the end of this year. I have to say, the first 5 minutes of this game have not even felt real with what is going on. No, there's no world. I regret to inform you, this kid is averaging 42 yards per carry. That is not an exaggeration. That is a national emergency. 42 yards per carry. He's only 5 carries deep, and we are just getting sent. I believe the run is coming here, so we are just going to send everybody. We are going to send everybody, and he gets through. He gets through. This is nuts. I know his last name is Nigerian, but I would have recruited him thinking he was Hawaiian. I would have built a whole storyline around it, too. It would have been embarrassing to learn that later. That's why we do our research. I have to say, this is just going to be one of those games where defense probably does not exist for either team. But they are going to get the pick. They're going to get the pick. I thought we could fit it in there. What a horrible start. It's just unbelievable. I do think if we come out a little bit better in the second half, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Catch it. What are you doing? I mean, right now, it's not even the end of the first quarter. So there is a lot of time. We just need to lock in. We need to force a turnover. Heisman difficulty has just made so many games fun this year, though, because it is that much harder. I know you all are like, why haven't you gotten that much better while playing this game? I'm glad that I don't get much better. This wouldn't be enjoyable if I was good. I'm sitting here sweating my butt off trying to figure out how are we going to beat UNLV. And I know exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a pick 6 right here. Tyreek Tate. Okay. That was not it. That was unfortunately not it. However, Jonathan Agumadu getting that sack is a huge deal. because they shouldn't be picking up this play. We are still going to be down by 17, 5 minutes left in the second quarter. There is so much time left in this game. Can we get a kick return going to? Can we get a kick return going to? We don't need a fast touchdown. We really don't, but that is something that I'm just thinking about. Because of how well they're playing against us, I want to score fast. It is like they're tempting me to look down the field too, just with the defensive looks that they are showing us. And if they keep running man-to-man coverage, then they're in trouble. I don't really understand what their plan is at the moment. With a misconnection there, though, we are just going to run it on 2nd and 10. It is nice to have a running back that can just glide across the field. And I didn't know what route anybody was on there. 2nd and 5. We are going to bounce this one to the outside. And that second step was just clutch. I can feel that 99 change of direction on Winston Malone. It is such an overpowered stat. We still have to get in, though. 2nd and goal here. He's waiting. He was waiting, but luckily he couldn't get to the ball. Now what we have to worry about is these runs. It's the runs, and it's not just God's power. This UNLV team is absolutely horrible to face off against. I am not having a good time at all. Everybody just wants to have the best game of their career. Jaden Bradley not able to wrap up, and it's going to be 3rd and 3. We are somehow going to have to cover so much, and both of the slants are open. He is short. He is short. This is such a major deal that they are punting this to us, and it's going to go all the way back. We could just come out and have a huge gain as well. Looking at the defense they were showing us, I want to hit him. I want to hit him. That was a little bit scary. He turns around and sees that ball coming. They have an interception. It is also now 3rd and 10. We could be held to a 3-and-out here. I don't love these reads because if we are not able to beat them deep, well, if that's underthrown even, we're not catching it. Just like I thought, going straight back to UNLV, that should have been thrown better. The Rebels have exactly what they want, and it's going to be more runs. It's going to be more runs. He's gone. He's gone. I do not see a world where Cottenham gets to him. It's just ridiculous. Our run defense is non-existent. We don't have a run defense. We don't have a defense in general. They have some defense, but truthfully, once we start going 5 wide, you'll notice a lot of cracks in there starting to show too. Trey Griffiths breaks off of a tackle, gets around 2 defenders, and there's a flag. You know that's going to be another 15 yards for us. 57 seconds left in the half. Well, I guess we were already on the 22, so it's only going to be 11. Either way, though, now we run it, and we're going to get in. Now, if UNLV is able to score a touchdown before the end of this half, I'm going to be so upset. At the very least, it does seem like they're going to get a field goal. What is up with these high-scoring games? I feel like the past couple years, we barely gave up more than 30. This is just nuts to see. Can we get a sack here? Can we get a sack? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, keep him out. That almost did it. That almost did it to me, man. If we gave that up right there, I'm content with 3. I'm so content with 3. They almost put up 38 in the first half. Here we go. It's time to get Amari Bowens the football and see if he can hit that hole fast. Unfortunate. We really need to play better. It's not an unwinnable game. It's just they have dominated running the football. I mean, it has been ridiculous. We can't finish off a play with a huge run. The most that you are going to see out of Winston Malone is what, like a 15-yard carry? On their end, they are just getting breakaway touchdown after breakaway touchdown. And this could be one for us. But there it is. Someone still decides to wrap up. This is actually so bad. How is everybody's defense so terrible? That's a pick. That's a pick. Why would we force that there? Why would we force it there? I sense the blitz. I sense the pressure. And he's still up. He is still up. UNLV is impossible to tackle. I can't tackle him. How are we supposed to win the Mountain West if this is how we are playing? This is our season. This is the season where we need to be good. I'm actually panicking. We're going to go hurry up mode on this drive, and we are just going to look to score about as fast as possible. I've never fumbled away a game so hard either. We were making our progress, and then we just threw a pick. What's wild is they are most likely just giving up a touchdown here. At the very least, we're going to catch that. Trey Sheffield, as of recently, though, just a lot more turnovers. I'm not sure if he is going to be our starter next season or not. It's 4th and inches. Well, you know exactly who we are going back to because we have won these battles up front all game. We've won the battles up front all game. Whoa. Where'd that speed come from? How can I replicate that on more plays? Because that was awesome. That was an awesome Another catch for Trey Griffiths. He is having one of the best games of his career. He is 151 yards already, and we're going to need a lot more out of him. There has just been too many mistakes in this one so far. Please make this catch. Okay, I feel like we can QB sneak it in from this spot. Not sure what happened there, but Trey Sheffield is going to time this one up well. He's not in. Are we even making any progress? They are begging me. They are begging me to score. They're just begging. What was that? Thank you, EA. Thank you. Okay, this is going to be a potential huge play. They decide not to throw the bubble. That is unfortunate. It's what I was looking forward to. It's going to be third down. They are still in that same formation, too. It's a handoff. God's power does not have it. We needed a fast 3-and-out for us to stand a chance in this one. I mean, look at this punt, dude. Look at this punt. Cut it back. Cut it back. Well, what do you think is going to happen here? Because I would imagine it's going to be like a Trey Griffiths miracle route. He gets open, and we could also always go over to Zahale Smith. I really don't understand what UNLV is thinking coverage-wise at the moment. They're running so much man-to-man. The problem with that is our guys are going to get open, and they're going to get open a lot. Trey Griffiths has been feasting all game. We also have UNLV in a compromised position because they don't want to use their final timeout. They've already used 2 timeouts in this second half, trying to slow down the momentum of our offense and stop us. Trey Sheffield runs it in. What a beautiful third quarter this has been so far. I'm pretty sure it's on them. It's not even against us. I thought we were the team that jumped. Now we can come out cover 1 because they're most likely just going to run this football, motioning a guy over. Matthew Sherrills ready to get in there. Can you snap the ball? Okay, go backwards. You know, we miss a lot of tackles. That has really been what UNLV is so good at, is just making us miss in the open field. Hold him, hold him. He got it. This is an elusive team. This is a really, really good team. And, I mean, that's a good wrap-up. It's just scary knowing how many big plays you've given up throughout the year. We could have had that. You know, if there's anyone that hasn't been much of a factor in this game, it actually is Eugene Hilton Jr. Did he just make that catch? Just an unreal jinx on my part. Why are we giving that up in the first place? It is now 2nd and 12. If they go up the seam, we're in trouble. If they go up the seam, we are in so much trouble here. They threw that. Why did he throw that? I thought we were going to stop the run, so I started to come down, and it's just ridiculous. I cannot believe he threw that 140 yards on the run. They're going to be up by 2 possessions. Now, we can still prevent the touchdown. I just made the #1 mistake in usering, though. You never, ever stick off of your man. God's power. Stay out. Okay, we're going to shade underneath. We have a QB spy. It's a keeper. It's a keeper. Are they going to go for this? Honestly, I actually wanted them to, just to give us a chance to get that ball back. But this works. We really do need to score a fast touchdown, though. And who is better to start us off than Trey Griffiths? I don't know why UNLV is so set on their man-to-man coverage. It worked right there, though. We are now on a 3rd and 18. Let's just get back part of this. Need the blocker. Make him miss. Okay. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this, but we are going to wait, and we're going to playmaker. We're going to playmaker. Fall down. Just fall down. I mean, that just was not what you want to see. That was so last second, being able to pull off those adjustments, and now we are going to be down at the 2. I don't think we can score a touchdown before there's 2 minutes, 40 seconds left on the clock, though, which is what I was hoping for. What this means is we are really going to have to stop UNLV. We give up a first down, it's over. I am so terrified of God's power here. First play, and it's going to be a big one. It is going to be a big one. Can we run him out of bounds? Okay, we're going to press. We are going to press. That'll work. I think this is better for us to stop the run. 2nd down. We got bodies over there. It looked like we had bodies over there. Oh, no. I mean, what do you want me to do? It is 3rd and inches. We've run commit up the middle, and he's gone. He's just gone. This is the most insane game I've ever seen. We should have gone for the 2-point conversion. I thought about it after we scored a touchdown. He just got obliterated. Anyway, I thought about the 2-point conversion just in case UNLV was able to score. They're backing guys off of our receivers too. I mean, they are not making our lives any easier. If we are going to come back, I actually just need to send one of these balls up. If I send one of these balls up and it doesn't work out, so be it. Okay, this could seem a little bit crazy, but I almost want to kick a field goal from here. I almost want to kick a field goal from here. Did we just catch that? Well, now we might as well go for the touchdown. You know exactly who we are going to. The issue is we are relying on the onside kick. There's a minute 33 remaining. I mean, we just need them to drop this, and they don't. They just don't. Realistically, what can we do? What can we do? That's game. They've won. It's over. I don't even know why they're throwing the football. It's over. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. We got an achievement. We got an achievement. Have 500 plus passing yards in a loss. That is how insane it is we lost that game. Our defense was Swiss cheese. There was almost 1,200 total yards of offense in this one. We literally shouldn't have had those 2 picks, though. Those 2 interceptions are what cost us the game. I mean, we were able to get Trey Griffiths and Zahale Smith almost 400 combined receiving yards. The even crazier part is God's Power had 332 rushing yards, dude. It was just such a rare and incredible performance that you are going to lose those games if you have to face off against that. We did sign our 3-star targets from the beginning of the year that we really wanted. For the rest of these guys, even the 2 stars, we're having to battle out against App State. We also have to finish this season strong. New Mexico's a road game. They are 5-1. Wyoming's a road game. They are currently 5-1. Is there a pathway to the Mountain West Championship? Is one conference loss going to do it? I mean, over time, all these teams should beat up on each other. If we beat New Mexico, we'd have the tiebreaker over them. UNLV has 2 conference losses, and that's good news for us. We also have to face off against Wyoming at some point. It is San Jose State that is currently the worst team in the conference, by the way. They have Elijah Brown at quarterback. We have definitely played against him before. Who is their running back? It's going to be Zeke Clay. Thank goodness this kid is injured. 97 acceleration. We're going to be dealing with the same thing we went through the game before. This is much more manageable. I would just like to point out for reference, we score so many more points per game than any other team in our conference, but we are also giving up the most points per game. So our defense is horrendous, and our roster, in comparison to everybody else's, is like 3 times or more expensive. How are we not winning every game? It is just setting in for me that if we're not locked for this rivalry, if we don't somehow win 6 games straight, we are not going to most likely make the Mountain West Championship. I should have known with the way that that game started against UNLV, it was going to be downhill from there. We are literally 2-4. Fans might not believe in this team. We went, what, 8-4 last year? Just to match our regular season performance, we have to beat a team that took us down. I don't care they are now considered the worst team in this conference. I've not forgotten about that either. We're just going to have to play well. Not even on the offensive side either. I feel like our offense takes care of business. It's the defensive side where things get really ugly. Hang on. Get a touchdown. Get a touchdown. Winston Malone has finally done it. It took 7 games, but he has broken off a massive touchdown run. I mean, you could not ask for a better start. Now, Elijah Brown, I should be worried about this guy. I should be worried about a lot of this San Jose State team. Why are we not catching this? Matthew Sherrills cannot be laying out for that ball and not catching it. That would have just been game-changing already. They're looking for some deep routes down the field. I mean, these are some of the worst reads I've ever seen. What is San Jose State doing? Am I missing something? Why are they throwing these balls? The first one I understood at least. The second one, it just wasn't open. It just wasn't open. Are they the team that threw a bunch of interceptions, but I threw so many too last year, though, that we lost? That's what I'm thinking, at least. It's just watching so many mistakes early on is such a different tempo from what we saw last week. Go ahead. They catch that. They catch that. There is no world where that should not have been an interception. I see him open in the flat. I remember our issue. It is all coming back, and it is coming back fast. San Jose State barely runs the football. This is like one of the only spots where they're going to run the football. They have such an air raid attack, and I think we just struggled to stop that through the air. Elijah Brown came out on a stinker, but ever since then, he's back to lasering us. There's a world where they just run this ball in. We had a hard flat there, and they still make it. Okay, well, hopefully the Spartans' defense continues to be non-existent when it comes to stopping the run. I mean, they gave us the easiest passing touchdown of all time, too. If we're patient, that wheel route, go ahead and bring it in. This is just turning out to be another shootout, though. We cannot be scoring this fast. We might actually need to slow it down. Unfortunately, even though they had a couple of those really bad throws at the beginning of this game, if it becomes a game of who makes more interceptions, who makes more mistakes over the course of 4 quarters, I am pretty confident that is going to be me. Now, we can laser that ball in there. It's a miracle they let us place that there in the first place. But are we able to run for a touchdown? Because this is where we're going to score. We really have been struggling on this side of things, though. Going to have a drag. Hit him. Let's just force a 3 and out. They are very rare, I feel like. They're hard to get. Another good read. We saw the mistakes that Elijah Brown was making at the beginning of this game, though. Surely they're going to get back to it. Maybe not. Maybe not. The runs are starting to look better. They're making these throws on the run. So our defense is helpless. Our defense is helpless at the moment. No, it's not. No, it's not. Tyreek Tate, thank you. We just baited them so hard, and we're in a good position. The vibes are feeling a little bit better, especially if we keep running well. We just got out to a fast start offensively, but they're starting to stop the run. We're very lucky that San Jose State came out flat, because as they have started to play a little bit better, I can tell we're even. Even this 3rd and 7 has me nervous. We're going to roll out, and I don't like anything that we just did there. I don't like anything that we just did there. Any play that forces you to roll out, I'm not a big fan of. I should have known that before we called it. Get off of the block. Get off of the block. This game just feels like it is going to go on forever. Scoring was not this common last year. In fact, I feel like over the first 2 seasons, we were really known for our defense more than our offense. The whole UNLV game has thrown everything off for me. Get there. Get there. You know what? Great play by DJ Kelly. I wish he could have gotten the interception, but I am sure that we are going to get another one before the end of this game. It is coming. We are going to speak it into existence. 3rd and 5. Nobody's open. Tui Jackson Mageo just gets the pressure. He might be a senior this season too, though. I feel like we're going to lose so many guys from this team. We got some solid transfers, but we have to be able to keep finding those. That is another reason the Mountain West Conference Championship is so important for this year. I wish I made that read faster. 2nd and 4. We are going to just take our check down, break off of a tackle. I mean, this is an incredible game from Winston. So much so I almost called a wide receiver screen, but they're pressing. They're pressing. No shot. I saw us beat the press on both sides. He wasn't as open. We might have been better off going to Deshaun Fed. I just don't trust him the same way. It's okay, though, because we are just trying to make sure this is the final drive of the first half. And stepping up, we are going to have Smith. With an offside penalty before San Jose State snaps this ball, though, they are 5 yards closer to potentially getting a field goal before the end of the half. I should feel confident being able to have a 21-point lead. However, I really don't, and that's just a sad part about where this team is at. It is actually shocking to me that they are attempting a field goal from here. It almost went in, but now this allows us to throw up a Hail Mary before the end of the first half. Now, our biggest target is going to be Taggart. However, he is not Trey Griffiths. He is not Trey Griffiths. We're able to get a flag. If this is against the Spartans, this will literally put us in field goal range. We just got a free 3 points if we can hit the kick. You know, our loss to UNLV, it has really affected me mentally. It stung. So we are going to come out and get that. So far in this 3rd quarter, nothing too eventful has really happened. They're going to try and test Matthew Sherrill's deep. We didn't intercept it. My main goal, though, is literally just going to be control the clock and see what we can do to end this one. We almost had a return. You know, I was a little bit confused how San Jose State was so bad. Their record is all starting to make sense, though. They're playing like the worst team in the Mountain West. After experiencing it for myself, 2-5 is not something that shocks me. Just looking for another touchdown here at the end. We find Scotty Brennan. He's down. So we are going to hand this one off and still be tackled short. You know, we probably do need to find a power back at some point for plays like this, because we literally might run the same play over and over and over and never get in. At the end of the day, we are going to take down the Spartans. It was just a 13 for 17 day for Trey Sheffield. He really didn't have to do that much through the air because Winston Malone carried this team from the very start. So did our defense. I will say what's really cool about that result is we now have an 8-game home winning streak. Though there is some bad news, we lost out on a corner from Hawaii to Appalachian State. For these other 2 stars, looks like we're going to get them. We need to start finding other players to put on our board. We haven't even offered the 90 NIL to John Carter that he wants, but this is a 3-star Hawaiian corner. I think with our new 150 hours available now, we might as well go after a few offensive linemen since that's something we haven't really focused on. We have also been gifted another another team that is struggling, which is good for us to build up momentum before we play New Mexico next week. 2-5 Nevada. We didn't play them last year. They have 2 running backs that are high overalls. But outside of that, a receiver with 92 speed. Got to keep an eye on Malachi Durant. Their quarterback is Lance Medlock, a 79 overall. I don't know. Just like UNLV, I'm getting the vibe this is a team that could give us some problems. It also would ideally be a little bit of a faster game that we can hopefully wrap up in the first half like we did last week, because the boys want to play pro clubs, and I want to play some pro clubs with the boys. I don't think you understand how calming it was to have a 31-7 lead at halftime. I've never felt so less nervous. I keep saying it, but that UNLV game has done some serious damage to my whole perception of this team. I don't know if I've ever really noticed the backdrop here in Nevada either. It looks really good, like Wyoming with the trees. Their offense does seem to be a little bit more efficient than the way San Jose State started, though. 2nd and 8. We are guarding this side of the field, and we got to make this tackle. Don't let him get the first. Don't let him get more. You know, I don't think we're going to see many games better than the last one. This feels like we are going straight back to the struggle fest and go to the flat. PJ Souffrant makes the tackle, but not in time. It is 3rd and inches, and we're run committing. This is such a dangerous thing to do. I mean, the Wolfpack are just having a good drive. It's hard to say too much about it. There's not just been a throw straight to our corner or anything. It's going to be 3rd and 2. I really don't like facing off against these senior quarterbacks that are higher overalls. Seems to have some decent intelligence. And there they are. Touchdown. I think everybody in this stadium could have told you that the run was coming. I don't know why we didn't have more people in the box. On 2nd and 12, after we aren't able to run the ball for almost anything, we drop it. So that is going to make it 3rd and 12. I just don't like that we could be held to a 3-and-out here. However, that's a good catch. We can now go back to the ground, and that's the Winston we saw last week. We might even be able to get Zahale Smith deep for a touchdown here. If not, it was really hard to tell if we could make the deeper read. The Wolfpack sounds on 3rd down 2 just continue to kick in. They keep on howling. It is yet to really generate the stadium pulse to throw us off, though, and Trey Griffiths can't hurdle him. As superhuman as he feels sometimes, he is still going to get brought down. Just the patience right there to get in was beautiful from Winston Malone. How are we going to handle this Nevada offense, though? That is the question. Lots of RPOs. We might as well just give them the first down here because we're not going to get that stop unless they just split. They just split our 2 defensive backs. I miss Elijah Brown. I miss San Jose State. This is like the UNLV game already. That's the type of quarterback play we're facing off against. Never mind, DJ Kelly, go up and get that ball. Get that sorry throw out of here. What on earth were they thinking? What on earth were they thinking? DJ Kelly pick 6. DJ Kelly pick 6. Use that acceleration, buddy. He's got better stamina than you. He can last longer than you. What a miracle. What a miracle. Rob Jorgensen, the name. Again, I'm seeing him. That might be part of our defensive problem, actually. We were really sticking with Jack Murray, but Rob Jorgensen is getting his moment now. And I'm hoping that can continue to help. He did so much for us last year. His overall isn't the best, and that's why I went away from him. But I feel like there's just an immediate impact we get from having him on the field. 3rd down, we're going to back Bell up. I actually really don't like that this is who we are using. However, they have nowhere to go. Malachi Durant, that 92 speed receiver I was worried about, well, he might be fast, but he was not able to catch that ball. And we are setting up for a big return here. We are setting up for a massive return. You got to hit this side in stride. Swerve around them, midfield. Big opportunity, actually, to just go for a touchdown because they're pressing. I don't have a plan outside of throwing up a deep ball, but we have the step. We have the step. It's so nice. It's so nice to have playmakers. I am messing with this team right now. I am messing with how we're playing. It almost makes me just want to finish out the night with more games. However, if Pro Clubs is calling my name, then Pro Clubs is calling my name. Go ahead. Get a hand on this. Get a hand on this. Perfect. I don't think you all understand how crucial Pro Clubs was to the entire CFB play don't pay movement. We all play it all together like every night now. If we were not so locked into doing that, then maybe most of us creators wouldn't have been all on the same page. I mean, that's where a lot of those types of conversations happen. I really want them to add a game mode like Pro Clubs to College Football 28 in the future. That's what I want to see. I want somebody to be running around as an offensive lineman. I want to be running around as a receiver because I'm sure not going to be a quarterback. I think it would just be a lot of fun. We are going to get a flag before our next play, by the way. Not really sure what happened. I was just trying to get a couple of hot routes off, but it all works out. We'll be on a 3rd and 2. I mean, it looks like they are literally begging us to score a touchdown. Somebody is going to be open. And they're doing it again. Zahale Smith is not going to get held by that corner. Okay, maybe he is. Maybe he is. That could have been a pick. That was almost right into his hands. I'm so glad that he didn't have his head up and was able to make a play on it. We are now on a 3rd and 8, though. And it's going to be a sack. It's going to be a fumble that they scoop up. Trey Sheffield make the tackle. That was clutch at least. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's just stuff like that that is so annoying, and I guess it wasn't avoidable, but you really don't want to see it because now the Wolfpack are going to have an opportunity to get right back into this game. On 2nd and 5, they are just going to run this, which I find odd, but it was the right call, so I can't really say too much. They have done more running than passing, and they just hit us with a trick play. What is the computer on in this game? I think I am just taking time off of my life playing on Heisman against the computer here. That's one of the most insane things that has ever happened to me in a video game. They just ran a double pass, and it worked. And it worked. Now we're not catching that. 2nd and 10, I need this field goal. I really do need this field goal to end this first half. Are we going to scramble with Trey Sheffield? We are. I couldn't really tell what I wanted to do there. I figure a run is going to catch them off guard. We still have 24 seconds left here. And we're going to have a slant coming across the field. Absolutely nobody lurking over the middle. To be honest, we might literally run the exact same playback. We still have 2 timeouts. Maybe we should have used one here, but I want to go towards the sideline and try this. Yeah, it was definitely a mistake for us not to go ahead and use one of those timeouts. How risky do you all take me, though? Do we throw this ball up to Fed? Fed's a little big. Fed's a little bit big. Give me that size mismatch. Give me that size mismatch. Okay, you know what? 41 yards. Hit the kick. They almost got a hand on it. We're up by 10. We also get the football to open up this second half. Just running through a tackle. You know, Winston Malone just continues to impress. We didn't really have a reason for not just running it again right there, though. We're going to hit our zig route and fall down. You know, this is one of those plays that if they are actually this aggressive and trying to stop the run, you could take this slant to the house. You could take this slant to the house. Now we run it a couple times. One of these 2 runs I was hoping would go for more. It is going to get us on a 3rd and 6. You know the reads. It is going to be one of our 2 stars, or maybe it's a scramble. It is so nice having a flexible offense like this. Tried to cut it back. We are really controlling this 3rd quarter so far and taking some clock. On 3rd and 4, we might pull out my favorite play from the Hawaii playbook. We have probably run this like 30 or 40 times, and he was open. It is what it is, though. We will just go for it on 4th and 4. I don't want another field goal. I want to hit our drag, and I want to keep this drive alive. Okay, now we look underneath. We go up. We catch it. Was that all for nothing? Yes, it was. But now we hit him with the halfback draw. Get a little speed going. That is all that we needed. And we're going to look to hit our curl route. They almost jumped it. You know, we might be able to throw this one up to Griffiths, though. I'm looking at him. I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure. Okay, well, this is not ideal to be on a 3rd and goal in this spot, but we're going to try to fit it in there. After all of that, we are literally just settling for a field goal. At least it goes in. I really don't think this game is over. We were trying to make it feel like it for Nevada, but they're only down 13. I also wish that they would just bring back the create a sign feature. That would be so much fun. They clearly have the capability to do so. And if there's some wild stuff on there, oh well. Like if I want to write no microtransactions and have it shown on the sign every game, why can't I do that? What's wrong with that? Okay, I probably shouldn't have said anything negative because now EA is just punishing me. There is still 6 whole minutes left. Oh no, hit stick him, hit stick him. Are you feeling the choke? I'm low-key feeling the choke. I don't like that sentence. What an interesting decision by Nevada, by the way, as we're coming out onto the field. They decided to press, and we're going to snag it. All we really need to do is get a field goal, and I'll still feel pretty comfortable. We don't need a touchdown here. It's not like there's that much time left. These injury timeouts, though, just keep on giving them life. Keep on giving them a chance in this game. I thought we had that. The last 2 weeks have just been an awesome opportunity for Malone to do whatever he wants. I think Winston is going to be asking for more money at the end of the season in order to stick around for his senior year. And there's our touchdown. For the 2-point conversion, I want these fade routes to work so bad, but they just don't. That is the harsh truth of the situation. How did he not pick that? I guess I cannot complain as long as they don't score quickly. We are going to be just fine. Rob Jorgensen being out there a little bit more. Maybe that is really our solution. Though, here's the quick touchdown. Here's the quick touchdown, dude. It's just so fast that stuff can happen. I mean, I don't even know what to do about that. It's life. I thought taking the kick out was going to help get us to the 2-minute timeout at the very least, but it stopped a second before 2. So, we're going to need more in the first. It'll take 1 first down and this game is over. Just 1 first down. Our first run, by the way, looks incredible. Are we going to have a touchdown? No. I guess that also means it's going to take more than 1 first down because our first run was so big. If Nevada sells out for the run, though, we are going to have Trey Griffiths as open as could be. And if not, we're going to take a sack. I mean, that's worst case scenario right there. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Turn around, make the snag. Okay. You know, this is a kick that I feel like we should be able to hit. As long as we do, as long as there's enough distance there, we're going to win. We're going to get ourselves to 4-4 before we still have another 4 regular season games tomorrow. Those are all going to be must-win too. I just want us to get to the conference championship. I want to see some progression. Looks like the final play of the game for the Wolfpack is going to potentially be an interception. Please throw us an interception. Get one for DJ Kelly. I'd love a pick six. I'd love a pick six. Just rub it in. Make that score look even worse. This is the perfect way to leave Nevada. He was actually another really big transfer for us to get that has just been worth every single penny so far. I've been happy with the team. It's just the losses we've gotten, they were so close. They were so tight. 2 pick sixes in a game, by the way, is just nuts. We are going to see 165 yards out of Winston, Malone, and Zahale Smith just going off. It was a little bit of a quieter day for Trey Griffiths. I will say I am noticing some big concerns for the amount of money we're going to have to spend so players don't transfer at the end of the season, because playing style is a big deal to a lot of these defensive guys, and we've been giving up so many yards. That is just something that has to change. National Defensive Player of the Week, DJ Kelly, it is deserved. We also completed an athletic director goal. We forced 10 turnovers on defense this season. We are now 2nd in the Mountain West. UNLV, I don't like that they have the tiebreaker over us, 1 more conference loss, and they would jump above us. We still play Wyoming. We're about to play New Mexico. I just really hope that we do not fall apart. Messiah Mingo could be a really good player for the Lobos. It looks like they're having no issues finding other good receivers. Maybe we steal them away. Is that Caleb Garnett? I don't know why this name is so familiar. Maybe it's just because we played him last year. But for whatever reason, I feel like I'm forgetting something too. Their starting running back is injured, by the way. So we're going to be facing off against an injured 65 overall. It's going to be this 88 speed 64. I would have rather played against David Lorello. I also did not realize that we are on the road for 3 of these last 4 weeks. Even Air Force could cause us some issues. These next 3 games are going to be such a big deal. UTEP, just don't mess things up at the end of the season. That is about all that I can ask out of them. We're going up against the turquoise jerseys, and let's see how we do in New Mexico. It is going to be a night game for us. I actually like that. It raises the stakes a little bit more. The crowd's going to be a bit rowdier. Just taking a look at this stadium, a little bit of a unique building that the Lobos have behind their end zone. I actually really like these helmets too with the cursive Lobos. I need to stop talking so positively about New Mexico though, because they are our enemy for now. Caleb Garnett had a really rough week last week. That's exactly what I want to see though. We are sitting in a cover 2. I think they're just going to run this football, and if they don't, well, a check down isn't going to get them very far. Tyreek Tate makes the play. We got Rob Jorgensen on 3rd down, but he was taken away from the running back. What I've decided to do though is he will be our starter until he makes some big mistakes. It's nothing against Jack Murray. Our defense was just better last season whenever we had Rob Jorgensen out there. They continue to run. It sets New Mexico up on a 3rd down, and Tyreek Tate makes the tackle. So far, he has been all over the field. Zahale Smith coming off 148 yards, by the way. Just want to point that out as I'm going to give him the first look in this game, but the pass just got deflected. It is now 2nd and 10. We go to the run, and that is just exactly how Winston Malone needed to handle it. He is off to the races, and New Mexico doesn't have defensive backs that are able to keep up with him. I was wondering when that 96 acceleration, that 90 speed would actually matter. It was what I was thinking about whenever we were able to find him in the transfer portal, and now we get to take advantage, though Caleb Garnett is getting out. Okay, we're going to have a QB contained, so he cannot do that again against us. Halfback screen. What a play from Josh Roberts. Just suffocating defense from us here. We are going to get another sack. I mean, all we have to do is protect the sticks and not give up a huge play. It's a halfback screen. Just make sure he can't get there. No need to whiff tackles. You kind of just steer them in the direction that you're hoping they are willing to go. Now we are going to have Amari Bowens on this return. A chance to go up 14-0 in this game. And he sees the gap. He sees the gap. He splits through it. The blocks were looking nice. Unfortunately, though, even though he's had good returns this season, it does seem like getting a touchdown out of one is a whole other story. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Trey Sheffield might have to do this one himself. We're just going to hand it off and be sure. This is the type of energy that we are bringing to this season, though. We're going to go for it on 4th and 2. I'm going to look at Trey Griffiths because I don't believe the guys that could be on him are going to be able to stop him. All it takes is a little bit of separation, and he can work with it. Zahale Smith might even have an opportunity at a touchdown here. We're watching that safety over on that side. We're still going to get a chance at a big play. We just changed up who we were going to throw that football to, and they're playing it. They're playing it. They sat right there. I stared at him. I watched him sit right there, and I still threw the football. See, that is why you all get on me, and you are fully in the right to get on me, because I think on a freshman difficulty, that's a pick 6. I have never seen the computer play that route like that either. What if he was on a streak? I mean, seriously, it is like they sniffed out the exact play that we wanted to run, and now we got to work for it. That could go down as the worst throw I've ever made on this channel. But I just have tunnel vision. I decide exactly where I want to go before I snap the ball. I get a rough idea of who I think is going to get open. Like right here, Zahale Smith, I have a feeling that he will get open. We will read it, and we'll get it over in his direction. With the way that New Mexico's defense is playing, even after that turnover, I'm still not feeling too concerned. This looks effortless. We just made a dumb play, a dumb mistake. The blocks right there will get us the first. Rough start to the day, though. I mean, that interception was just really, really bad. I might be the factor that prevents us from winning a Mountain West Conference championship this season, because the team seems fine. On paper, every roster I have looked at in our conference versus ours, we have the better team. You know we're spending 3 times as much. So as a coach, I can build the team, but am I able to get them wins? Whole other story. Trey Sheffield, though, going to get the rushing touchdown. Our defensive line has been eating against the Lobos so far, which is nice. We'll see what they do on this drive. It is 2nd and 7, and it's going to be a run. It was going to be a run. At least I thought it was going to be a run. I guess it doesn't really matter, though, because Jonathan Agumadu gets his 2nd sack of the day. He's been having a good season for us, but they're going to get the 3rd and 17. That was probably Rob Jorgensen's zone. I don't know what he was doing. He got out of position. Here on 2nd down, I fell down before the play, and now just contain. Don't let him get a touchdown. Just give us an RPO or something that we can get an interception off of. Do you know how much better I would feel about myself if PJ Safront just rips this ball for a pick 6? We're trying to bait him. Unfortunately, our match coverage got exposed. New Mexico might start to worry about the clock too, so we will call some timeouts. This is going to be a direct snap, and Rob Jorgensen's over there. You can't break off of that tackle. That was actually really impressive by him to make sure that we were still able to wrap up. The blocks here, not good enough. Okay, 3rd and goal. We're not going to put a QB spy out there because I want our defensive line to get the pressure in. We'll call our 3rd timeout. I guess they're scared of Caleb Garnett going to the air. I figured they were going to throw the football, but we'll take it. This is a minute to put us up by 11 points. I think we can drive down the field in this time frame. We're going to look and find Taggart, first play. There is only one thing that is not in our favor at the moment, and that is the fact that we don't have any timeouts, but with a little bit of a pick, Trey Griffiths is gone. One of the other teammates ran into each other, and it just left him open. A good kick return has just set the Lobos up at about midfield with 44 seconds left in the half, though. Tyreek Tate is lurking there. Maybe we should leave him in his position and just take Rob Jorgensen over to that spot to take away some of those routes. Are we watching the check down to the running back? Pick it. That is a chance for Josh Roberts to do something incredible, and he just can't I did not like that. Though I did note that maybe my user is making our defense in the pass game worse because we were able to cover those routes a little bit better. Now, most likely, we are just headed to halftime. However, we are just headed to halftime. I don't know how he was able to get hands on us there. I would love if Winston Malone could take this for a touchdown, but there's just too many guys to get around. Luckily, though, since our defense has been playing better, we are getting this football to start the second half already up by 11, and it's a great chance for us to go up 3 possessions. 3rd and 13 is a little bit of a tough situation to be in. Most likely, we do just get held to a 3 and out. I am pretty sure I could watch that play back, though, and we're going to have a wide open curl route over on the right side of the field that I just wasn't looking at. I saw it as we were taking a sack. I just don't know if he was open the whole time. They have adapted to cover the receivers I want to get the ball to. We might just keep going back to cover 3. I'm a little bit nervous in putting Matthew Sherrills in the right position. I don't want to take him out of position. On 3rd and 4, they should be running the ball here. They should be running the ball. And Tyreek Tate's there. He's there, but the ref gets in the way. This is what I'm saying about my user. My user might end up being the problem. We got 9 guys in the box. Go ahead. See if you can run. I mean, we are just making it so hard for there to be a running lane in the first place. And that's going to be an accurate DJ Kelly. I mean, that should have just been an interception. Now, we're seeing Caleb Garnett take off. He was going to run every single time. We jumped. So they have the first down either way. They might throw us the pick. It's not a good pass. It was against us. Just undisciplined there. We literally did everything correct. I guess it is important to remember, we have given up more points being on offense than defense, though. Here on 3rd and 9, PJ Souffrant is there to get a pick or make a tackle. It is going to be another moment where we could get a stop, but instead they're in. You know, this does worry me a little bit. We're going to keep a QB spy out there in case Caleb Garnett decides he is going to try to run. New Mexico is far from being out of this game, and we're going to keep the option, but they still tackled us. That slight hesitation is crushing. I think they're going to send a blitz here. If they don't, let's just think positively, make it a 3rd and 2. Then we have to decide, do we trust our offensive line here? I did. I decided it was worth it. On 1st and 10, I might as well just see if Zahale Smith can make a play on that corner. Was really looking forward to getting a potential explosive play, and with the patience, Deshaun Fed gets off of the tackle. He gets off of the tackle. He's racing down the sideline. The sophomore eventually caught, though. He could be a future stud for us. I just don't know if he'll stay with the program forever because we haven't used him very much. This is exactly how we were hoping to end the 3rd quarter, though. We're just going to run it once again, and I thought we could be cute there. I figured they might not expect us bouncing it to the outside, but it turns out that was not the move. It is now 3rd down, and they brought the heat. Just like that, New Mexico could tie things up with this drive. We're going to try something a little different. We've been running zone coverage recently. We are going man-to-man. Rob Jorgensen, though, going to have to stop a running back, and if they have that much time, they're going to have someone open. You know, I can't get on our defensive line because this is one of those games where they've produced more pressure than they typically would. You broke off a 1 tackle. What is our philosophy, though? Just slow them down. Make them think for half a second, and somebody else is going to get there. We're running some palms coverage, and that was just a really good play. It is going to set them up on a 3rd and 5 where they're in 4-down territory. They will go for this. If they don't get this run, what is happening? Also, what type of decision is this to be punting it back to us? I understand there's still 4.5 minutes left, but 4th and 4 should have been like a 4th and 3 or 2. Okay, well, we are on the 1-yard line. That was the greatest punt we have seen so far in this entire series, and we might get a safety. They don't have many linebackers in the box, though. I mean, we're just going to get a full head of steam with Winston Malone. The last few weeks have earned him so much money once we get to the end of the year. I already know that he is going to be begging for so much, and it's going to be deserved. That tackle was just brutal. Okay, 3rd down. There's a couple different ways that we could go about this. I'm going to do my best to look at 3 different reads. We're going to look at Zahale Smith first if he beats the press. Then we have Scotty Brennan going across. If it's man-to-man coverage, well, I looked at all 3 of those reads, and somehow, we are still going to be able to pick it up after I didn't throw it anywhere. Trey Sheffield is lucky. He held onto that football for way too long, but his offensive line had his back. Should have kept going to the outside. If we cut that to the left more, I think that's a touchdown. Interesting spot for New Mexico, though. They give up this 1st down in this game It's over. It's over. They are out of timeouts. That's it. You know, when I saw New Mexico on our schedule a few weeks ago, I was a little bit more worried for how this game would go. We felt in control even with our mistakes. It has me feeling pretty confident headed into our final few games of the regular season. Just one read from Trey Sheffield was off. Outside of that, Winston Malone, he stayed healthy. We have needed that. There is even more good news because some of our Hawaiian 3-stars are officially committed. We are still setting up for a game in a couple weeks, though, where we are going to have to be able to take down the 8-1 Wyoming Cowboys if we want to get to the conference championship. UNLV with their 2 losses really scares me. It has also come to my attention that we are just going to have to pay a couple of these offensive linemen if we want them to come to our school, and this is how it's going to be. If we want to get some 3-stars, we can't cheap out there. I mean, I wish we were able to. We probably actually need to start going after some more edges, seeing that we have so many needs at that position. I just don't like recruiting off of playing style. Playing time is a little bit easier. It can just be hard to keep some of these players happy. 82 speed on a running back. Welcome back to the open recruiting portion. You are not going to be with us. I'm going to keep scouting. If we find a gym, that's going to be the edge that we decide to go after. It is time for Air Force, though. Don't worry about these receivers. What we need to worry about is who they have at quarterback. 91 speed. Okay, Toa Fa'ave, he is definitely Hawaiian. One of you all said it in the comments of the last video. We had to play him last season, and he is really good. They also have an 81 overall running back, even though he's only got 86 speed. Not going to be like 70 speed on a fullback. I am honestly just a little bit shook knowing that is the fastest quarterback we've ever had to play in this series, but we'll see how we do. I mean, at least we know that we can just stack the box and hope for the best. I'm expecting a little bit of a flyover to come here soon. I've not seen the new Air Force intro. Their tunnel that they walk out in, this looks super dope. The environment itself seems like it is going to be a little bit of an issue for us. They are packing this place out. I mean, this is the perfect scenes for college football taking this opening return. We aren't going anywhere. We haven't had a return for a touchdown this season, and we won the last meeting. We are on a 4-game winning streak against Air Force, so we're just looking to continue that. You can see the lanes opening up. We just have to penetrate them a little bit better. Speed option, second down, Winston Malone out on the outside. Now we run this play, and this is the one that I threw one of the worst interceptions on of all time. So there's no way we're throwing it. Some of the RPOs in this game, you have to make that decision so fast. Zahale Smith was getting pressed, and this corner just didn't look like he was going to be able to guard him. Sure enough, that is exactly how it works, and we are going to go with another RPO run. It is here where we do have some problems in finishing off these drives, but Trey Sheffield stepping up, that has been one of our go-tos just to make sure that we score. Then what we are going to do on defense is we're going to get our man-to-man coverage out there, and it's a big run already. Our run defense, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I try to shift our defensive line around. That doesn't seem to make much of an impact. And looks like they're just going to throw this one short. We are just going to play hard flats. We're going to take that option away from them. And here is the danger spot. Here's the danger spot. What are these blocks? They are just annihilating us. Toa Fa'ave literally just decimated our defense. But Winston Malone can do the same. I am in a little bit of disbelief still for how that turned out. We're throwing this a little bit late. That is the biggest fear whenever we face off against a team like Air Force, though. If we can't stop them from running the football, it could be a long game. 3rd and 7. Scotty Brennan is going to be my read here. He's open. And is he getting the first? He doesn't. However, the game recommended that we go for it, and this is the play that they recommended. Are they setting us up for success or failure? For success or for failure? It looked so easy. It looked like we were just going to have the first down. I don't know how that turned into a loss. Well, 2nd and 9. I'm going to use Rob Jorgensen as the guy to watch for the QB to pull it. We will be that contain if that's what they decide to do. It's a run to the outside, and they're just going to be gone again. They're just getting another huge gain. Our defense looks horrendous. It actually looks horrendous right now. Whether we're pressing or not, I just don't like what we're doing. I just don't like what we're doing. We knew a day like this could potentially come. We are going to look over the middle in that seam. Sure enough, it's not caught, though. 2nd and 10. What do we got coverage-wise? Trey Sheffield having to scramble is not my ideal situation. I'm a little bit panicked, though, just with the way that this game opened up. We cannot panic. We have to understand, we're only down by 7. It's still the first quarter. Yeah, it's not going as smooth as some of our other games have, but it's still Air Force. They still have lost a lot of games this season, and Scotty Brennan with the move to get us into the end zone. You know what? We are going to be all right if we just figure things out with our defense. That is starting to seem like a bigger and bigger if, though. A lot of their blocking has been really good. Here on 2nd and 8, we're putting all of our corners on an island. We have brought down Matthew Sherrill. And when you put your corners on an island, this is what could result. It's just going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Okay, at the very least, what I want to do is I want to be pressing. Rob Jorgensen covered up. It was great coverage from him on 3rd and 16. We have a QB contained just in case they decide that they're going to scramble. No. See, this is the thing about this game. This is the thing about this game. Under what circumstances is this not an interception? You see the throw. You see the ball is in the air. And instead of making a play on the ball here, instead of just getting us the easiest pick of all time, you continue to run. You just continue to run. Put your hands up. Let me click on at the very least. We just did everything. Everything right on defense, and it's not going to matter. I just don't understand, man. Now it's going to be 2nd and 13. They make one guy miss. I can't even say I'm surprised by that. They decide to run it again, and they have the first. This is how we lose these games, though. We get rage baited, we get frustrated, and then we perform poorly. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. So even if they're able to score, we just got to respond. We can live with it being 21-all at the end of this first half. I really want them to throw to the other side. Now we have to figure out, do we trust our defense to hold them on 3rd and goal? It's a jet touch pass, and he breaks off at the tackle to get in. It's just we had him wrapped up, and somehow they still score. We are not executing the way that we need to in this game. It is about time that we just look for a huge play. That is what they've pushed me to do. Over the middle, cover 3, we'll start there. We're going to stay in hurry-up mode. We're going to wait to route up their corner, and we're going to place it into the hands of Deshaun Fed so he can score a touchdown. Ultimately, the better team in this one is going to prevail. On 2nd and 8, go for the pitch. Go for the pitch, actually. That was the right decision. I shouldn't be getting too excited that they did. It's another good block. It's another good block. And this kid is going to have another touchdown. Another touchdown. What's wild is they might give us a touchdown right back within a play. Within a play, they could give us a touchdown right back because they have no pass defense. I would even argue this is the easiest team to throw the ball on. Nobody has made it look simpler than Air Force in this first half. Their defense isn't going to exist. The issue, though, is ours does not either. We are going to just take our check down. Nobody was on Winston Malone for whatever reason. You best believe this will be the final drive of the first half, too. I really wanted to throw that ball. Okay, 3rd and 7. Are they going to give us the slant? How does that hit his head? We literally cannot afford to chase points here. We're just going to have to take our field goal. We're going to be down by 4. I think we are going to start spreading our defensive line. Just with how some of these runs have gone, we need to make sure they don't get to the outside and get a full head of steam like this, because this is where we're in danger. I mean, obviously, this is not run defense right here, but this is what we're going to try and do. It makes no sense, but it is our solution to hopefully prevent Air Force from having these huge plays. Now it is 3rd and 8. We don't have a QB spy, and I'm afraid that we might just give up the scramble. That was always going to be their plan, 4th and inches. Okay, they're going for it. We ran commit. We ran commit, and they're still converting. They've just done everything right. I mean, credit to Air Force. This is how you need to play if you're going to beat a team like us. Make a bad read, though. Make a bad read. I mean, if we are continuously pressing them, I have a feeling they're going to have a really hard time finding somebody that's open. Why did you run off of him? It might be time to be done with Rob Jorgensen. He has just done stuff in this game that has really, really frustrated me. On paper, Jack Kelly is better too. Maybe Jack Kelly will come out performing better since we benched him. I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose. I have seen nothing here that makes me believe we are going to be able to stop Air Force. Like, maybe we can get the stop on 3rd and inches. Maybe we can get the stop on 3rd and inches. Or they're going to score. It is the UNLV game all over again. And Trey Griffiths, he's been quiet for a couple weeks. I'm not sure why either, but he has. Open. We got Winston Malone. Just got to score fast. I mean, it's not an offense problem. I think that has been very clear in this game. Good defense. It is now 2nd and 10. They're all over the run. We just got to convert right here. I mean, that is PI. It is PI, but eventually Taggart will still get open. Okay, 47 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Let's go for a run. Let's go for a run, and let's get a touchdown. You know, we really do need to lock in for this 2-point conversion, but EA has just set me off one more time. They cannot help themselves. The sliders are not coming back. I don't know if they're just doing it to be petty or they're doing it because of what their plans are long-term for the college football series to still take it live service. Either way, trying to control how people enjoy an offline game mode, restricting that sandbox experience you sold everybody on the last few years is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen a company do. I don't think they get the college football community that they're selling these products to. They'll just play old games. They'll just mod it on PC. It's an offline mode. I'm gonna just be honest. Between me and you right now, if you get out your credit card to beat the computer in an offline mode, you have some serious issues. You might be able to at least convince me on the online side. It's just unbelievable, man. They're telling the community to shut up. We don't care what you think. I did not expect to see the day. I did not expect to see the day. These poor devs. I don't even know if I can say that anymore, though, because who knows what they were in on this whole decision making. Oh, well, we still have to get a stop at some point. And that's not happening either. You know, it probably doesn't help that we can't stop Air Force. That is making things more frustrating. If we run commit pit middle, do we have a better chance? It was an RPO. It was an RPO. He is just mid-tackle making that pass. I am doing everything I can to stop this run. Okay, 3rd and 4. We are going to press. We are going to pinch our defensive line. And Matthew Sherrills is going to try and get through there, but we missed. We missed, and we pushed him over. Here's the thing. We hold Air Force to a field goal. This game is far from done. But we have to be able to hold Air Force to a field goal. They are just running it so efficiently against our defense right now. Man-to-man coverage. He's open. Matthew Sherrills misses the tackle. I mean, we are trying so hard. This is tough, and I am so glad that they made the game this tough. But it is also brutal. We might as well just write another appearance in the conference championship off because it's not going to happen. I feel so hopeless about stopping Air Force. I legitimately think we're just going to go for the onside kick after we score, because I know we're going to be able to score. There's still 2.5 minutes left-ish. I mean, Trey Griffiths can get out of bounds. What would be super nice is if we got in before the 2-minute timeout. In order for that to happen, though, this throw has to be on the money and it's out of reach. I really have never seen anything like it. Air Force has just dominated. They have dominated on the ground. We are leaning on this onside kick going our way, and it's short. It is short. Well, 1st and 10, outside run. We get there. We get there. But he breaks off of both of these tackles. What am I playing? Just get in. Just get into the end zone. You can have the touchdown. I mean, I've lost it. I've lost my mind. I'm upset. I'm disappointed in EA. And it's so annoying, too, that this is the most fun I've had playing one of their games. I can just tell that the direction they want to take the series is going to be ugly. There's no reason to try and turn an offline experience in Road to Warrior Dynasty into a live service product so you can squeeze a little bit more money out of it. I just don't understand. We are going to score fast. Scoring's not been a problem. In fact, I would argue this has me so confident in our offense as we go in to our last couple games. However, on the defensive side of things, it's a lost cause. It's genuinely a lost cause. We will get our touchdown. I need to stop taking the meter as far over as I've been taking it, though. We're going to leave some power on it, and they just scoop it up immediately. Okay, we're going to run commit. We're going to run commit. I'm not afraid to do that. 2nd and 11, they throw it. They throw it, and they can't make us miss. Okay, I would like to think that on 3rd and 11, we can stop the run. We can hold them. We got him. Just like that, we're getting the football back with 57 seconds left. If we win this game, this is going to be the greatest win of all time. We have to score a touchdown. I don't want a field goal. We have seen way too many times our defense struggle to get stops starting this drive. We have 20. We might be stuck just running 5 wide the rest of this drive, though. Unfortunately, I think we're stuck in this. You don't catch that in bounds. Don't catch that in bounds. I mean, Trey Sheffield's always doing something. From here, Air Force is going to continue to back off because they know there isn't that much time left in this game. However, using Playmaker, that's just not a good throw. Okay, you know what? We will go back to 5 wide. No need to experiment. There's cover 3. Jump up, and it's going to be a pick. Why did I throw that there? We had our chance. We had our chance, and I just forced it for no reason. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because we're now 5-5. I don't know if we can win the conference. I'm in disbelief. He literally played a perfect game. Davenport rushed for 190 yards. We passed so well. Passing was not a problem. It was that one interception at the end where Trey Sheffield messed up, but the clock started to matter. We have now lost 5 games this season, every single one of them being on the road. We still haven't snapped that home winning streak. Our combined opponent record is tough, though, and UNLV has the tiebreaker over us. So we need UNLV to lose. We need to be able to beat Wyoming. Hang on, if we get in a three-way tiebreaker with Wyoming too, if we have the win over them, maybe we're still in the conference championship. I'm really not sure how that works out, but we have to invest more in our defense during the offseason. I mean, we're scoring 37 points per game, but we neglected the defense, I guess. It is wild, though, because compared to previous years, this offense is about the same as what we have always had, while our defense looks even a little better than any other year. I'm going to make Jack Murray the starter again, though. We're going up against Mason Drewby. He is a junior quarterback, 79 overall. Their best three players are skill players. We are just no longer in control of our destiny, but all we can do is win these two games. Maybe we still make it to the Mountain West Championship. I am sure some of you will help me in the comments whenever it comes to stopping the run, because I feel like I'm doing about everything I can, and we are just getting destroyed in the running game. Our passing defense has been a lot better. Do not tell me I just saw that their quarterback wears number 7, though. Buddy, you're not going to be Josh Allen. Drewby is going to throw us an interception in the first quarter. I will speak that into existence. They've already rushed for 15. I can't even say I'm surprised watching some of these shorter routes. They are just going to have to go to the flat, and we are missing tackles. If there is anything I want to see out of this team, it's our pass rush actually getting in, our defensive line putting in work. For next season, we are going to invest in our defensive line. We have noticed that has been a big issue. So far, Wyoming has 4 straight first downs. Our defense has been so useless, and it's going to continue to be. I just cannot believe how bad it really is. They could have him over the middle. Why are we not guarding that? We'll bring down Matthew Sherrills, mainly because I figure they're going to run the ball. It is just an automatic 6 yards, though. It really is automatic yards every time. Interesting spot. 3rd and 4. They do decide to throw it, and we got to send somebody. He just is like this perfect quarterback. Maybe he is Josh Allen. We might not even make it to a bowl game right now. That is the craziest part about how this season has gone. To be eligible, we still need to win one more. We are about to look straight up the seam, though, on this play, and I figured we were going to have him. Just like that, Scotty Brennan's in the end zone. Wyoming will be handing this first one off. Jack Murray makes the difference. I wish I could figure out how to man players up, because that was something I really enjoyed doing on defense last year. I just haven't figured out the new defensive controls. Maybe we can get a stop here. 3rd and 7. It's a quick hitch route. We're all over it. That is a major deal. To force that 3 and out after what we have gone through, I just hadn't seen a stop in so long. Amari Bowens is going to get a return, and, you know, they're over him once he makes it to the 30. But that is enough for me. We are just going to get 2. 2nd down, same type of thing. I'm going to hand it off to Winston Malone again, because Winston Malone is bound to have a big run. We might even be bound to have a huge play to end this first quarter. Throw it away. Throw it away. That was a little bit of a mistake from Trey Sheffield. We can look underneath, but ultimately, it's going to be 3rd and 20. I don't like it any more than you do. Are they running zone coverage, though? They are? And that's going to be a snag. That's going to be a snag. Breaking tackles. Maybe Joshua Fatui needs some more looks. He is a senior receiver. He is Hawaiian. Let's give him another look. Now we're going to go to the outside. As I was putting that hot route on, they were able to adjust. That would have been a great interception. You go 5 wide. You take a couple more risks, and those are the things that happen. Trey Griffiths with the dive. We actually need to go back to feeding him more than we have been recently. He needs to be in the national conversation. He deserves to go out with a great senior year, and we missed the tackle. We missed the tackle. It's costly mistakes like that that are really affecting our defense in the first place. I don't know what it is, but I cannot make open field tackles on this game the same way I was able to in college football 26. Nobody seems to be able to stop anybody in our conference, though. I mean, this is just like a free 20 yards. More so than that, it's a touchdown. Winston Malone makes it in. I have never seen anything like this. Our recent games are just going wild. It is now 2nd and 8. They will most likely run this football. They got me with the play action. Fortunately, everything was covered at first, but we got no pressure. You know what, though? Where we have messed up in recent weeks is we have yet to send a single blitz. A single blitz this season. I'm not saying we need to every play, but I'm going to bring the pressure right here. We brought the pressure right here, and they still got so much. I mean, at this rate, we literally just need to have a prayer to get a stop. If we didn't get hands on Mason Drewby, we would have had an interception. He was throwing it straight at Matthew Sherrills. What is our defense doing? I just don't understand why nobody is near him. There is not a single player on this team that is going to want to stay on this roster due to playing style, and that's what we've been recruiting off of. I mean, that is most likely the worst thing that could happen to this team. I mean, if we make this throw, what is even going on? That was a stupid pass. There is no world where that should have been successful. Trey Sheffield is making throws that we didn't see Micah do in his 2 years here ever. Actually, I take that back. Micah Alejado, during his junior year, was finding Trey Griffiths on so many different reads. We just scored too fast, though. We definitely scored too fast. They are going to choose to run the football, and I pass committed. That is just the transparent truth. Second down, looks like it's going to be 4 verticals, and where is he throwing this ball? Interesting choice for sure. On third down, the hit stick knocks it out. It is going to give us so much time, and I just can't believe how little defense has existed. I know we built up most of our offense this season, so it would feel like this. I'm just not used to being able to move the ball like it. 2nd and 10, they did just back everybody up, so we are going to patiently go underneath to Smith, and he'll be at midfield. What we really want to see is an opportunity to throw the ball up without any safety help. Wyoming does not seem to be that dumb, though. Air Force was definitely just letting it happen. Got to get out of bounds. This is where now Scotty Brennan could come out and just beat them deep. We got our corner route there. Come back to it with Randolph and turn up the field. Just come back to some of these balls. I have never seen anything like this. The way our offense is playing, it is literally perfect. It is perfect. What I'm wondering is Wyoming going to let us rush for a touchdown here? They are not. It does mean we're going to have to settle for 3, and it doesn't go in. We should have just decided to go for it there. We should have just decided to go for it. I feel like I'm back to playing NCAA Football 14 too, with defense literally just barely existing. Now, it might be too soon to get that confident because we're only up by a little bit. That should be picked. That should have been picked. I could not tell you what Trey Sheffield was thinking with that read, and we're thrown into double coverage. We got the flag. We got the flag. This is such a bailout. Never mind. I take it back. It was apparently offensive pass interference. That is going to send us back to needing to play good defense. Wyoming is not doing themselves any favors either with a false start. I like the idea of 2nd and 14. It's going to be 3rd and 8. We are even choosing to press, and I think they might be able to beat us deep. No, they're not. No, they're not. Prince Cottenham with the pick. Just like that, we are back on offense, and we're going to take this drive a little bit more seriously. We're going to shed off of a tackle. Then we are just going to wait for our drag route to come open. Hang on. Hang on. Trey Griffiths is more open than ever before. I don't know what was going on over there, but I'm glad I saw him. I just can't believe what we just saw. I don't know how we got that free, but we're going to take it. We're not going to complain. We're just going to act like we totally meant to do that. 3rd and 2. This might be one of those spots where we just bring everybody forward and we go to stop the run, because I figured they're going to try to run the ball. It was such an open game in the first half, and now in the second half, it is going to be a little bit more defensive. They just gave us a broken play. It's why we scored. I will gladly score right here, though, if they are just going to run man-to-man coverage and let us go 5 wide. This is the best team in our conference, and right now, looking good. I really hope that with the win over them, we are able to get to our conference championship game. The only reason we might not is because UNLV also has 2 conference losses. Here on 1st and goal, we are just going to have all the room in the world to run for 6. It really should solidify that we are going to win this game. What we will need first, though, is one more defensive stop. Now, I want to say, I think for both teams, that running the ball has just been really easy. I don't know if it's something you all are also noticing in your dynasties or what, but we can't get there with Tyreek Tate. If Wyoming is going to have to go to the air, though, then getting some stops should be easier, except we just ran straight into a block for no reason. It puts them back in it, only down by 14, and I'm not even fazed by stuff like that at this point. We might be able to hang on to this ball for the rest of the game, though. Since they have not been able to hold Winston Malone, I mean, he is literally just going to burst through there for another huge run. He avoids the tackle, and it's just the easiest touchdown of all time. He got 13 chasing down 13. We ended up winning this one 55-28. No defense once again. I'm sure there won't be defense in our final game. 244 rushing yards for Winston Malone as well. The amount of money he is earning himself is actually scaring me so much. Trey Sheffield also having some really good stats for the season. This right here is what matters, though. With our win over Wyoming, they fall beneath us, And it looks like UNLV has also picked up another loss. So they're tied with New Mexico. They're tied with the Miners. And this is who we play. When it comes to how this UTEP team is looking, Royal Capel is their best player. 85 overall receiver. They got a lot of solid receivers, but at QB, Josh Newberry doesn't look like he's all that impressive. Neither does Lance Barnes, their running back. So it is setting up on paper for us to be okay. 55% chance of rain. You know that we are protecting that home winning streak. If we were to lose it to UTEP, I would be so upset. We legit have an opportunity to get it up to 9 games this season. I'm not sure if that's going to have a huge impact on our stadium atmosphere. Even the smallest amount of increase, though, would give us more money to work with. We have to continue to get up that brand exposure, too. The best way for us to do that would be by winning the Mountain West. I feel like we're in a really nice spot to win. However, we still have to be able to handle the Miners here. And I just don't know if we're going to have to deal with rain. I don't know if they're going to come out and get super lucky. We just don't know what to expect. When it comes to our QB play, I can trust Trey Sheffield. But what I don't know is how our defense is going to come out. It's going to be 2nd and 10 after that run went almost nowhere. We're going to playmaker. We're going to playmaker, and we're going to try to force it in there. What I want that to do is I want that to make UTEP realize they're going to have to send some pressure. Maybe they don't, though. They were able to get pressure with 3. On 2nd down, Winston Malone is going to make it 9. That was a massive play from him. We're looking at Trey Griffiths on 3rd down, and it's just a quick little stutter step that gets him open. Then we're going to go straight back to the air. We are going to climb the pocket, and we might have missed a read or two. However, I do feel like we made the right decision still. It's the quick cuts. 99 change of direction is one of the best stats that you can have on a running back. Can you imagine if he also had the shifty ability? I feel like he would just be unstoppable. They are going to play for the run, though. The wild part is we should have known that was coming. On 4th down, I pump faked. I didn't mean to pump fake, and then I hit the wrong button out of just pure panic. I know the X was wide open. You don't have to go. Let me know about it in the comment section. They're already making me mad too. They're going to run this hurry up offense the entire game. I'm noticing our zones literally getting flipped right before the snap, and we're on top of him. It isn't going to stop him from making that catch, though. 2nd down, they convert. You know what? We are going to bring some of these safeties down a little bit. I don't see anything. I didn't see anything. That play is just on Tyreek Tate, though. That is his fault. They should not have been able to do anything there. And now the halfback screen makes it 3rd and 3. It does seem like they want to throw the ball more than anything else, but our coverage has just looked very questionable. I mean, everyone's missing tackles. Everyone's making mistakes. Did you really think that we were just going to win a must-win game to get to the conference championship? If you've noticed the trend the past couple seasons, we work super hard to get into a position like this, and then everything just starts to fall apart. Catch the football! I just don't get it, man. We're paying Deshaun Fett a good amount of money, and he can't even hang on to that. I'm not going to go to Trey Griffiths here. I'm going to go to Scotty Brennan. I understand at a school of our size especially. I mean, for all schools, but a school of our size, there are going to be mistakes. There are going to be mistakes, but then there are moments like this. Moments where Zahale Smith proves that he is worth every last penny. And now we can run it. We can run it for 7. This is a little bit of a heat check for our offense to prove we drove down the field the last time for a reason. Yeah, we might not have finished that drive out, but we are still flowing. We're still in a flow state. UTEP knows that we want to just run this one in. Winston Malone is not going to go anywhere. However, are they prepared for Taggart to run a route and for us to just pepper him with this football? They are not. Okay, that is exactly how to respond, especially with the touchdown that we gave up. Here on 1st and 10, we're playing hard flats. Those tackles are not it. I mean, I could have told you exactly where that football was going, but it just doesn't seem to matter. On 3rd down, we are going to send a blitz, and we're going to make that hit. Then I decided, why not call a timeout? Originally, they were trying to hurry it up and go for it, but it ruined their momentum, and now after thinking about it, they decided to punt. I just wanted them to have to second guess themselves. It seemed to work out for us. I think we're going to beat this press too. Okay, we didn't. We didn't, but Trey Sheffield is going to make it 3rd and 2. I do think just looking to beat the press for a quick touchdown is something that has hurt our offense slightly. Even when it's there last season, I didn't believe we could do it in the first place, so I wasn't even wasting my time looking for that read. Getting held to a 3 now is not ideal. It is about time that we return to more of a defensive game, though. Jack Murray isn't making that tackle, and we're getting hit with a face mask, and we're getting hit with a face mask. When are we going to catch a break? If you can't tell, the pressure of this game is weighing on me because I know what has happened the last couple seasons. I know that we always find a way to mess things up and not get to the conference championship. If we are struggling against UTEP right now too, how on earth am I ever supposed to make it to the playoff, to win a championship? I mean, relative to the rest of our conference, this roster is really, really good. On the offensive side of things, it just shows up a little bit better. Once we get over to defense, we are just helpless. We really have been helpless all season. Look what UTEP is doing to our offense, though. It is now 3rd and 12. We are fortunately going to have enough time to find Zahale Smith. He won't make it in, but the touchdown is coming. We could have even gone for a QB sneak here. At least we score. All right, we're going to shift our line over to that side. Lots of RPO action. I think the best thing we can do is just play hard flats. I'm ready for the bubble. Halfback screen. I mean, he always breaks the tackle. I think that is the hardest part for us. They just seem to always make the right play. We are going to have to make sure we don't give up anything stupid over the middle. And there's the sack. Every single punter is so strong in this game with their kicks. And Amari Bowens just got chased down by a defensive tackle. You got to love to see that. 2-minute drive. 2 minutes to get down the field. That right there irritates me. He blocked him into us. He literally blocked him into us. We're going to go short. They're going to knock it out. It is now 3rd and 9. I guess we look in Trey Griffith's direction and get to the marker. Get to the marker. Okay, now that we pulled that off, I'm expecting them to switch up their coverage a little bit. Trey Griffiths has like 5 guys on him. We're really looking for deeper routes than we probably should be, though. Sheffield is definitely feeling the damage of some of these last plays. This is going to be a review that takes away the catch as well. We should have just tried to get a snap off. They called it back. I mean, he clearly had a foot on the line. That is going to make it 3rd and 10 for us. Are we going to have Scotty Brennan? We might. We might have Scotty Brennan. That alone was a miracle. I cannot believe that we got the ball there. It's what a lot of throw power will do, though. Okay, help us run. Help us run. Trey Sheffield is so tired. That wear and tear is adding up. It is late in the season now. Oh my gosh. That's just going to be a great route. They'll tackle him. But if you think you're going to hold Zahale Smith out of the end zone here, no shot. No shot at all. Slowly waiting. Oh no, that should be a pick. That should be a pick. Okay, I don't know if we're going to get man-to-man or zone. I'm thinking that they're giving us zone coverage again, but what is this camera angle? I guess it is now 3rd and goal. What are we going to see? What are we going to see? One of these hitches has to be open. He's got to be open. He's got to be open. You know, Bryce Randolph has quietly made some nice plays for us throughout the season. That right there had touchdown potential. I know that they are just going to have so many RPOs worked into their offense. Unfortunately, can't knock that ball out. It is now 1st and 10. No bubble here, but they're going to go for a deeper play. I mean, right now, they are literally just putting on a masterclass against us. How? How did he get to that? I sniffed that out, and it still just results in more yards for the Miners, and they're at the 8. You know, they have a lot of momentum at the moment. I don't even think a timeout is going to save that they're going to score a touchdown here. I don't think anything could save that touchdown. The one thing that we do know is their quarterback is not fast. So if we force them to throw it, then they are going to have to find somebody open. We're just dropping back into some zone coverage, and we're all over him. I just don't understand their strategy. We're there. We're there. We're there. Okay, 4th and 3. They throw it again. They literally throw it again. How? How did they just know that we were in Tampa 2? I guess we've run it a couple times. It was just a crazy play out of them. They are reviewing this, though. Did he get a foot down? He might not have gotten a foot down. I love that this guy's head's going to be in the way. Great camera work. Looks like they are going to get the touchdown. I would like to note, by the way, we do have a few more fans in the crowd than we did earlier on in the season, but it's still not full. You know how demoralizing it would be to them if we just open up this drive with a touchdown? Just straight off rip, we scored a touchdown. It's not happening. In fact, it is now 2nd and 14, and we're going to throw this right into double coverage. It is probably about to be a 3-and-out for us. We'll see if they switch up. They go zone. I don't know how I'm going to turn this into something. I just didn't know what to do. There is so much momentum on UTEP's side because we came out in the second half flat. We probably haven't been running the football enough. It is the pressure of these games that really gets to me. I know what's on the line. I know what is at stake. And right there, we can't even make the tackle. I feel like we're just getting nothing that works out. I have to like hold their hand through it all. That was a good third down call. Do you believe in a blitz, by the way? I believe in a blitz, and he broke 2 tackles. I just want it to be noted that he had 2 edges converging in on him, and somehow he was able to get free. 2nd and 15. Are we going for a counter to the left side? No, we're going for play action and short read. I don't even want to click on anymore. Call me what you want. If you call me scared, you are 100% correct. It is now 3rd and 11. So much time. Just so much time. Defense has held it down, and we're just going to let this punt bounce. We're going to have to go 80 yards for our first run. It's actually huge. It's actually huge. Winston Malone gets caught. I really thought he was gone to the end zone there. Unfortunate that they were still able to get hands on him, but he's just going to do it the next play. We really should have been running the football more. It is speed that matters. It is speed that shows up when you need it the most. PJ stuck on that tackle. I have to be able to stop those RPOs. We have to know that they are coming. Tyreek Tate, he's in front of him. He is in front of him. How did he not even slow him down? We are witnessing some really uncomfortable stuff going on. When are they going to make another bad read? What? This difficulty, Heisman this year, I don't know what to say about it. I guess you could argue we actually haven't been upgrading our tackling at all for the defensive backs. We've been upgrading their coverage, and it is showing. It is really showing. You know what? Maybe we would be better off just sending a blitz. Maybe we would be better off. Every single play, this is the look that we are going to give them. Come on. Come on. Run it up the middle again. See what happens if you run this up the middle. We actually got to get some momentum going on this. Get some momentum. And it's a keeper. Well, I thought we were going to be able to stop him, but we just ran out of the way. We saw he had the football, and we didn't care. What do we do from this moment? Well, if Trey Sheffield is still shaking out his body before every single snap, I think you know the answer. Winston Malone is at 15 carries for 123 yards, but I should note he had 13 carries for not all that much before that last drive. We definitely could have run the ball a couple more times than we did, but it's not like we weren't giving him opportunities throughout this game. He just hadn't been doing much. There we go, though. Another first down. Read option. We will never pull that. UTEP thinks they can just come out with 3 defensive linemen. I mean, surely we're going to get more than even 4. I guess this is a big 3rd and 3. I would like to hit Fed. If Deshaun Fed can get open here, we're going to have him. Now we're in a tough spot, though. We're just going to trust in Trey Griffiths. Trust in Trey Griffiths. Trust in Trey Griffiths. Do you think we're going to set the edge for him well here, or do you think that star edge is just going to immediately make him lose 4? I could literally see it happening. We still ran that play, and there's an opportunity for us to get a big gain if they do decide to send this blitz. If they do decide to send this blitz, we had a couple man-beating routes. I was not afraid to start taking some clock with us either, which is why you see there's only 2 minutes left in this game, and we're about to be on a first down. That is actually really annoying because no matter what, UTEP is going to be able to get this football back. They're about to start calling some of their timeouts here. Even worse, they might hold us to a field goal. 2nd down. Yup. They're just immediately on top of us. By now, they have to know our play call. By now, they have to know our strategy on a 3rd and 8. But they're still not getting the defense out there for it. This is a pure ego play. This is a pure ego play because we should have had a touchdown there. I'm running this same play too. I'm frustrated because I missed the read for whatever reason. Because I missed Trey Griffiths. What a call. You know, if we didn't get that, I was going to hear about it. But we had to go for it. With a minute 10 left on the clock, I did not trust our defense to stop them from getting a touchdown. It really felt like we were just forfeiting the game. They were going to score with like 10 seconds left. They were going to throw a 30-yard laser that they moss on 2 of our defenders at the same time. Not worth it. At least now, when they do all of that, we're going to go to overtime, and it's not going to be as painful. I do like that right there we were able to keep them in bounds. We are stuck on Tui Jackson-Mageo, though, and he's trying to get that sack. Still in bounds. We might just decide to sit in a cover 4 drop. Really make them beat us down the field because not much is going to be open. As long as somebody isn't making a huge mistake, as long as they don't just outrun one of our guys, I'm liking the way this is looking. They are out of timeouts now. You know, maybe we didn't need to go for that, though. This is a lesson to learn for future games. A minute on the clock, you can hold the computer even out of field goal range, potentially. They should be getting the first down here. Why'd he throw it away? That was just a very weird decision. I thought that they made the computer AI smarter. Evidently not on that one play. Here's the Moss, though. You know the Moss is coming. We knock it down. There is nothing that feels better than getting to the Mountain West Conference Championship. We know that we are a lock. We don't know who we're going to play, but we were one of the top 2 teams headed into this week. Trey Sheffield's season stats, once we look at those, are going to be really good. His completion percentage has to be the best that we've ever had out of a quarterback. Winston Malone, 150 yards on the ground. It is also Winston Malone that has set the Hawaii single-season rushing yard record. There are a lot of records in this record book that are going to be hard to achieve, like Colt Brennan throwing for 5,500 yards in a season. I don't know how we get there. Having a receiver get almost 2,000 total yards, that is another tough one. At least we got the exact result we were hoping for, and it's going to be a rematch against Wyoming. You know, if you were telling me that it was against UNLV again, I was going to be extremely concerned, but Wyoming, I feel a little bit better about. If we are going to sign this guy on our offensive line, though, we are going to have to increase the amount of money that we want to pay him. I didn't realize how expensive it was going to be for the tackle from Miami to want to come to Hawaii. We have the right hard sell on him too. Pro potential isn't good, but we are just trying to close out this board with some good signings on here. You'll see some tight ends that we're willing to pay a little bit of money. It's nothing too crazy, but it is more than nothing. And I think we actually get to host this game because there's not a neutral site for the Mountain West Championship. This is awesome because we could extend our home winning streak to 10 games in a row. I really hope that we are able to pull this off. You actually see the Mountain West branding around our stadium. Instead of it being bamboo wireless, which I was told is not a real thing in Hawaii, it is now the purple stripe. Looking at how we compare throughout the season, we complete a lot more of our third downs. We pass the ball a ton. We've passed the ball more than I thought. I think in the last 2 years, that would be about a 50-50 split. This season, we just decided, nah, we are going to air things out. It is Winston Malone, who we are still leaning on to have a big game, though, and all he had to do was make that guy miss. It has been a couple weeks since we had to face Wyoming. We know how to beat the Cowboys. We know that we can run. Here on 2nd and 9, though, we are going to go through the air for the first time, and that's going to get a 7. Now it is 3rd and 2. Now it is 3rd and 2. And they're all over the run. Okay, I am just impatient. I want to start this game off well. So we're going to fake punt this. We're going to fake punt this. Run, run. The fake punt works. The fake punt works. It is just a sign of disrespect. It is a sign that we feel so confident we are not worried about being on 4th down. I was willing to give them the good field positioning. Their defense is kind of scaring me a little bit, though. I will give them credit. So far, that right there is what we needed. Now we're going to look at our tight end, and Winston Malone's losing too. You know, their defensive line has come to play. They have adapted really well. Are we going to be able to get something big on the ground, please? Now we can run the counter. Our blocks can line up well. Once again, it has just been a rushing fest for us, and Trey Griffiths is not going to get open. Trey Griffiths is not open at all. Winston Malone, you better hit this hole in stride. You better turn this into a big play for us. It's going to be 3rd and long. What we would like to do here is so predictable too, but we're still going to go to the air, and he gets a hand on it. This right here is a level of disrespect that could cost us. It could cost us. I don't know if we can even throw this football, but we're going to try. We are going to try, and they're going to intercept it. I swear if they return this, I swear if they return this, okay, bad decision. They're going to sit here on our field doing all this crap. We're just going to come out and force a 3 and out, and it's all going to be okay. We're taking this game a little bit too lightly for it being a conference championship. Okay, lock in, lock in. There was no reason to be stupid twice on that drive. It worked the first time, and I clicked off so we could make the tackle. We still don't make the tackle. Now it's a new set of downs, and we'll fill the hole. We are just going to bring up Matthew Sherrills here. If they hand it off, I mean, we were prepared, but we did not have the guys out there for that. I feel like with the amount of times we give up RPOs, we need to be shaded underneath on every single play, and I wish we were in man-to-man coverage a little bit more than we are. 2nd and 8. They aren't even going to get this snap off before we head into the 2nd quarter. It looks like the sun is starting to come down a little bit. We're going to see them go through the air. Matthew Sherrills has so much to guard. Look at that, though. Tui Jackson-Mageo gets his sack. On 3rd down, you have multiple checkdowns. You could throw multiple. It's going to make it a little bit of a harder kick for them. It does make me wish that we just took our 3. This game could be all tied up. Is his leg strong enough? It is. We are just going to have to learn our lesson, though, for how this one started. almost bounced that out. Do we think that we're just going to step on the Jets here and really hit them to the outside? We're not. I am seeing some defense out of Wyoming that does worry me a little bit. Fortunately, we have a guy named Trey Griffiths. Will he get open on this one too? Well, we're about to find out because I am going to stare him down extensively if we don't just take our check down originally. And we had him beat. We had him beat. He sheds off of a tackle. You know, they've gotten so many big plays against us this season. I will take this one. This game does give me college football 25 vibes with all the wild stuff that happens. It is only fun when it is happening to you, though. I don't want to see them get a big play on me. Here on 2nd and 7, I think we're actually in the clear to stop this run. I should have never spoke. I should have never said anything. You get so used to the AI being brain dead, just running into tackles. My whole life playing football games, and they're finally not brain dead. They finally actually move with a little bit of purpose. It has put us in a position where we need to respond before the end of this first half. Nice throw power. We're going to make sure that this is the final drive too. We're only at midfield right now, so we got some work to do. There is just no way that they're going to put that corner out on an island over there, and they didn't. They didn't, but nobody blocked it. Well, do you think this is going to be zone coverage or man-to-man? If this is zone, I would have been really dumb to put a streak on Trey Griffiths. Come on. That ball just wasn't placed the way that I thought it was going to be, though we might get this to bounce in a good spot. All right, on 1st and 10, Timu Josh Allen is just going to hand this ball off. Then he is going to get them coming out in 5 wide. We are going to give up multiple routes. Jack Murray makes the tackle, though, and we're just going to pretend like everything is all good. We couldn't have avoided that. I just want to see our defense actually get some pressure going. I mean, it would be so nice to see a sack or something. Just like that, we actually got one. Then on 2nd and 18, all of those routes are taken away. You're going to have to go short. You're not in field goal range. We just need to prevent them from picking up the first down here, and they almost got free. Luckily, they are just punting it, and we have 18 seconds. From here, most normal people would just be happy that they're only down by 3, but I want the field goal. I want us to get a field goal to end this first half. So we hook up with Trey Griffiths, and we take a timeout. We are now at the 35-yard line, and if they decide that is the coverage that they want to stick in, well, I guess we're scrambling. I can't say that I love too much about that, but we are going to try and get to the sideline really quick. That throw should have been on target. There is no way we hit a 64-yarder. No way we hit a 64-yarder. Come on, come on, come on. It's short. I did everything right. He's a college kicker. I mean, it wasn't going to work. It is going to give us a lot to reevaluate in the second half, though. Wyoming has the football first, and he just finds his way through right there. I mean, our defense needs to be better stopping the run. We get them to a 2nd and 7, and it's going to be 3rd and 5. Are we going to get them off of the field, though? We are. Well, to my surprise, they just kept on running it. I thought that they were going to pass it there. We were dropping back into coverage. No need to try to return this. We did not have a good first half offensively. Time for that to change. What we're going to do is we're going to get man-to-man coverage here, and we are going to hook up with Trey Griffiths. We're going to throw it to the outside. They are going to play it, though, and when we run this ball on 3rd and 1, are they going to stop it? Are they going to stop it? Just truck your way forward. Okay, looking at this coverage that they're giving us, I think that we're going to see a blitz. We don't see a blitz. We do not see a blitz, but we see Trey Griffiths, and if Trey Griffiths is getting open, we're all good. I will literally run the same play 2 times in a row against Wyoming. I have no shame. I have no shame. What would be nice is if we could run this between those 2 defenders and keep this drive moving. We're going to go hurry up mode and just try to run it once again. Come on. Get this snap off. Get us the touchdown. There we go. Just like that. Wyoming is going to hit us with an RPO first play. They'll get 2. Then they decide to run it again. We're all over it. Now we have them on a 3rd and 9. It's a screen play. 1 defender misses. He fights, but he can't make it there. So we have come out so strong on defense in the second half. The Cowboys offense looks non-existent, and it is time for a return. It is time for a return to change this game. To change. No. I thought that was it. I thought we were gone right there. We were so close, literally inches away. Do we trust that Trey Sheffield can make this pass? Do we trust that he can drop it into the bucket? We are on fire right now. We have momentum on our side. I like everything I'm seeing. I like everything I'm seeing. Look at all those fans. We might actually have a sold-out crowd for this game. I didn't even think to look at it. They got to be happy. I do find it a little weird, though, that we don't have our logo on the field for the Mountain West Championship. I guess that's just how the Mountain West decides to do things. This cover 3 out of this formation, though, is what has been giving Wyoming so many issues. They just aren't able to beat it. Here we go. Last play of the quarter, and they snapped it. It is not completed. I am so short to open up the fourth, though. They're still going to go for it. We are going to pass commit here, and we are just going to sit in a Tampa 2. I know we've been sitting in a cover 3, but I decided to switch it up. Why did we switch it up? I don't know. This one is not over yet. Rob Jorgensen is out there, so somebody is either getting a rest or injured. Throw us a pick. Throw Rob an interception. He's just jumping up and down as they scramble for 20. Do not watch that back either. Do not watch that back either. I see him literally just jumping up and down as he's scrambling. It was irritating me. It was frustrating me. They almost got me to bite, but we're going to get the sack. Josh Roberts, man, have yourself a game. 3rd and 16, only sending 3, and I know you want to go short. I know you want to go short. Okay, I was about to say. Just to make sure that they stay in this, they are attempting the field goal, and it's about a 50-yarder. I'm assuming that this is going to go in. Is it really going to matter, though, if they never see the football again? That is the goal right now. We are going to get a first down here. No, we're not. Change of direction being that high actually has some of its weaknesses because you just get snapped around in so many directions. It can be hard to control. Fortunately, though, it has worked out for us, and we'll get 5 more. Eventually, the Cowboys are going to get desperate. They're going to try and stop the run, and that is when Trey Griffiths will get open. He's going to do a little hezzy on that defender, and Trey Griffiths is gone into the end zone. Who even needs a juke move? That hezzy was so clean. You cannot tell me that's not one of the cleanest things I've ever done. This game has been a roller coaster of emotions, whether it was just the fake field goal, the fake punt on the first drive, or some big plays like that one. They are going to look at the flat. Rob Jorgensen even almost guarded it. What his problem is going to be for us is he can't get much better. His skill caps have basically ruined his career trajectory. So that is what has caused him to go from being a key starter to now being a backup. They just got back half of what they lost. So now it is 3rd down. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. I guess they're just throwing it away, but this crowd is actually starting to get rowdy because they know what's on the line. They know what's on the line. You know how nice it is to hear our crowd like that, to see our stadium pulse starting to go up? It only gets louder once our new stadium is built as well. Once that finishes, things are going to get crazy for us. Matthew Sherrills not covering well. In fact, I am not happy with our coverage at all there, but they're going to have to scramble. They're going to have to scramble. Okay, it is now 2nd and goal. Once again, looking to run. It's just not there. What's wild, too, is we are just going with straight man-to-man coverage, and it's working for us. It's working for us. Come on. Come on. Get a hand on that ball. We can end this game right here. I actually feel a little bit of an increased confidence in our man-to-man coverage, too, after this one. He's going to have so much time. He's going to have so much time, but it won't matter. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. We are winning our conference championship. The way that this season was going, I didn't think this was going to happen. We're literally only, I think we're 8-5 now. Still a good season for Hawaii. I thought if we did this, though, that we would just run the table. Instead, we had to work for it. I do think our defense came around a little bit there, which is nice. Winston Malone over 100 rushing yards, 242 yards for Trey Griffiths. It is going to win him National Offensive Player of the Week. Is it going to win him any awards, though? We see that Winston Malone is up there in the running for the Maxwell. Trey Griffiths is up there, too. And for the Biletnikoff, it's either going to be Ed Small, this TCU receiver who had 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, or it would be our Trey Griffiths, who had 1 less touchdown and less yards. Unfortunately, I think we know how this ends up for us. Deuce Knight was throwing the football to that guy at TCU, so maybe that's one of the reasons that he was able to put up the numbers that he did. Dylan Raiola, we were able to almost take him down. Then you have Aaron Noland with 48 touchdowns. He might win the Heisman. Ed Small, I don't even know why you shut up. He just came to have some fun in New York. I think I have locked my prediction in. It is going to be Aaron Noland. Dylan Raiola could be up there, I guess, but I've put my faith in Aaron Noland. Here we go.
Trophy is awarded to
It is going to be Deuce Knight. Okay, so I was wrong. It does go to Deuce Knight. It also means that Ed Small is most likely going to take the Biletnikoff Award away from Trey Griffiths. So Winston Malone winning the Doak Walker is a major deal for the program. I didn't realize he had that good of a season. Why are we playing against a conference opponent in our bowl game. Could we not have gotten a better game? I mean, here's the thing. We were able to beat New Mexico 24-16. We'll probably beat them again. Actually, it could be a toss-up, but I just wanted to face somebody different. We could have played Miami, Ohio for our third year in a row in a bowl game. We were able to complete every single one of our objectives, so our athletic director will continue to be happy. This isn't going to be a better finish than last season, even if we win 9-4, beats out 9-5. But then a conference championship offsets it, so still could be our best year, I guess. I don't know. I'm just seeing a lot of momentum build up for our program as we get into a very crucial part where we have to pay players and also build out our team for season 4. 36 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I mean, Trey Sheffield could not have been better. I feel like he's earned the spot next season already, but we'll see who's available to us. Winston Malone carried our running back room. Then on the receiving side, Trey Griffiths and Zahale Smith both went for over 1,000 yards. The drop-off after those two seniors, though, Scotty Brennan's a third. I'm hoping he comes back. He wasn't happy with the playing time that he got, so that's something to keep an eye on. On the defensive side, Tyreek Tate and Jack Murray tied in tackles. Jack Murray didn't play every game. He didn't start every game, so we got Josh Roberts getting 9 sacks. I need him to return. Jonathan Ogumadu, unfortunately, he will be gone. Tui Jackson-Mageo, he's got one more season on him. Then our interception leader, DJ Kelly, he's another player that could come back for his senior year, but if he asks for more money, I don't know if we're going to be able to afford these guys. I'm also noticing Boise State, even with one loss, was able to make the playoff and get a first-round bye as the 3 seed. That just makes me so proud. We're the one team that took them down. Nobody's injured here. Nobody needs to have a limited practice. We did end up losing out on this right tackle, by the way. Just want to point that out. We have some of these battles we are still going to have to pursue as we go into the offseason. 10 signings for now, though, that we get to check the dev traits of. Now, for these 2 stars, I wasn't expecting a right tackle from Hawaii to have impact development. That was a pleasant little surprise. John Carter is going to have star dev. We need that. He has 53 press. He's got to upgrade. We're going to see normal on Ronnie Malik. We're going to see impact on David DeMarco with his 96 speed. And we're going to see impact on Tyler Carzosa. I mean, so far, if you look at our budget, we are willing to spend $260 on those high school recruits. That is before the transfer portal. We still have so much of our NIL in our roster. Tyler Rourke, we're paying $230. We might need to cut him. There are just so many potential movements that could happen. I don't know who's going to want more money or anything. So once we get through this game, to me, that is what I'm looking forward to the most. Finding out how we're going to build this roster for the future. If we win this bowl game, I do believe we'll have a little bit more money to work with too. Any extra dollar we can get makes a massive difference. That is why we need to lock in for this. They're going to pass it a lot. It was not our defense that struggled against the Lobos, though, the last time that we played. Caleb Garnett, I can't say he's the best quarterback. Did we play against Rashawn Carmichael, though? I feel like I would have remembered them having an 82 at running back. On 2nd and 6, PJ Souffrant going to cover this side of the field. And we're going to get the interception with Matthew Sherrills. It is literally a few plays into the game. What did I tell you about Caleb Garnett? He is going to freely just hand us the football. I mean, we could not have asked for a better start here. I'm feeling good. We got to see how much they're going to let us run for too before we actually need to throw it. I mean, it just instantly became a 3rd and 5. It didn't take long at all. They almost made a play on that ball. He literally just got there. He was all of a sudden all over Trey Griffiths. I am glad that Trey Griffiths has been so good at catching. Thought we could get around him. It is now 2nd and 8. Let's hit him with a little bit of a direct snap and see if that throws them off at all. It'll be 3rd and 3. You just got to watch for some of these underneath routes. We're going to run a comeback with Deshaun Fed. Credit has to go out to New Mexico's defense so far for the way they're playing. It is bound to break down, though. This run should get us a first. We got Thurman. I can't remember the last time that I saw Justin Thurman out there. He is 100% going to want to transfer just because he's not gotten as many looks. I'm not going to blame him when he does either because of that. It's a fumble, though, that we scoop up. That is so annoying. We were going to have a touchdown right there. Now it is 3rd and goal. And we're trying to fit it in there, but it is going to be an interception. We should have just taken our points because we could have. Oh, well. I'm not going to get too upset because it is early on in this game. It'll be 3rd down. We should be able to prevent them from picking anything up here, and we do. This return might change things for us. This return might change a lot for us. We're at midfield. I swear, it feels like you've run for so long on returns, and you just haven't in this game. It's probably because the punts are so deep. Now 2nd and 14. What? I'm just seeing about everything happen at the moment. Somehow that was swatted down. So on 3rd down, Can we convert? Trey Griffiths makes it happen. I would consider that a very strange first quarter. It is going to be all about who scores first. Specifically, who can get that first touchdown, because that is something that will really move the needle in this one, and they're stopping the run. I mean, maybe we are able to just beat the press over on that side of the field. I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to put it up there and see if we run under it. We found it. Sometimes I wonder about Zahale Smith. He isn't able to take any of those catches just for a straight touchdown. He doesn't get that much separation, but it's enough to put us in this position. For now, I am more than happy with that. And yeah, if you cut this back, it's going to be dangerous. Rashawn Carmichael does worry me a little bit. This is going to go to their backup, though, and he just jumps over. Not even a worry in the world. There's a guy on the ground just laying there. I don't love our coverage. I don't love that Caleb Garnett is able to shoot out of there like a missile. Maybe New Mexico is starting to wake up on the offensive side of things. We're going to try and lurk him with Murray, and he's trying to run. 2nd and 9, we have pass committed, so I guess we are going to be pretty good coverage-wise. I thought we might get a sack or something. Matthew Sherrills can't get there. It's actually getting a little bit ridiculous watching all these Caleb Garnett scrambles, but he's going to throw it into double coverage, and our hands are on it. Okay, 4th and 1. 4th and 1. Stop the run. Stop the run. We're holding them up. You know, what I'm starting to discover is we have to blitz more. We have to send more guys. We got to generate some more pressure. That was the only reason that we got the Lobos off of the field. Here on 2nd down, we're just patiently waiting for Trey Griffiths to get open, because once he clears those defenders, he is going to get a lot. 3 minutes left in the first half, too, so we want this to be the final drive of the half. That should have been a touchdown. That just should have been a touchdown. Winston Malone is just all over the field. Should have Trey Griffiths here. If we don't have him, then we're going to make the easier read. We're going to pick up our block, and we're going to go to the 15. New Mexico most likely won't even use their timeouts because they know they're not getting it back. They forced a fumble. We still got on top of it, though, and I don't think we're getting in here. Okay, now the plan is going to be to look at Deshaun Fed. I would like to think that he was going to get open here. We just got to get rid of this. Little bit of a scary situation for us, but what if we spread them out? What if we go 5 wide? What if they decide that they can send a blitz when Trey Griffiths is in the end zone? I don't understand what they were thinking coverage-wise there. We start the second half with the football, and it's going to get dangerous. We are already up by 14 points. We want to control this game. I would love to get a field goal out of this drive if we can. All it's going to take is one big play. New Mexico is in even more trouble. Man-to-man coverage. Got to connect there. It is now 3rd and 3, and we actually had Winston Malone a little bit sooner than we found him. We just didn't want to originally get it to him. And is our halfback draw going to work? It's going to suck out the defense. One of his biggest downsides, though, is he just can't juke. I've noticed that throughout the season. Lots of really embarrassing juke moves on his behalf. It's just a little bit frustrating. I've noticed it enough, and we should have thrown a pick. This is where we could change the game, going for it on a 4th and 5. It's risky. Scotty Brennan could be getting open, though, and we're going to see if he does. Scotty Brennan, take us to the promised land. Get us that first. New Mexico was already not in a good position. If we can get a field goal at minimum here, we got our 3-possession lead. They are practically just saying, run the football on us. We're going to allow you to try, and we still can't. We know we have to avoid a sack on 3rd and 8 here. Looks like we could scramble with Trey Sheffield. Are we going to see man-to-man coverage, though? That is the next thing that I am looking for. And we got him. We got Trey Griffiths. Once again, he is in. He is just going to be so missed next season. I'm really hoping that the transfer portal can clutch up for us and give us some good alternatives, or else it's going to be really scary. He has been such a good route runner. We're about to have him on a 3rd and 4. Maybe this is where we decide that we should be bringing in a blitz as well. And they've decided to scramble. If there is one thing Caleb Garnett can do, it is run. They got a lot of guys motioning around on this play. Our coverage isn't looking good. I mean, that was just disrespectful for no reason. He could have kept running, but he turned around just to throw us on the ground anyway. New Mexico's got themselves a tight end. I will give them that. However, you all saw what we did with Zahale Smith. What if we paid their tight end to come to our school? If we just continue to sign some of the best players in the conference, I mean, that is going to be a big difference maker for us. We can make the other teams worse at the same time. Final play of this quarter, and it's a big hit. I would really appreciate if we don't blow a 21-point lead in the 4th. That would just be detrimental for our team, but that's the right read. New Mexico did themselves no favors, though, by missing the extra point. It is just going to make it even a little bit harder for them to come back. We're going to hit them with a halfback draw here. and we went the wrong way. 2nd and 8. The blocks were decent. It does seem like they might get us off the field, though. On 3rd and 5, I guess Trey Sheffield is going to have to scramble. He makes it close. Okay, this is one of those situations I don't really love. I actually don't love this at all, but it's going to be a pick. It is going to be a pick. As long as they don't return this, okay, it's the same thing. We are still putting ourselves in the position to choke, though, which is never a good thing. Part of the issue, though, with that last pass was it wasn't Trey Sheffield making the pass. It was Hakeem Crandall. We have already established the reason he didn't win the starting job is he has a weak arm and he didn't look good in the spring. Well, that weak arm was showing right there. I think with Trey Sheffield's arm, that is a first down. Now, they're trying to hit a steep. And just like that, it's a one-possession game. We are in a spot that is getting worse and worse. At least Trey Sheffield is back out there on the field. But it's going to be 3rd and 6. Does Trey Griffiths help us pick up this first down or not? That is the first question we have to answer. He is open. At the very least, we're getting the first. New Mexico will start calling their timeouts. We are going to need one more first down, though. One more first down to win this ball game. Was that J.J. Bradley, by the way? I have not seen his name all year. Trey Sheffield is just getting ripped apart. It is now 3rd and 10. I mean, that was a brutal hit for him to take, and we're not getting it. Okay, we put this ball game on the line here. We send it. We send it. 4th and 3. Trey Griffiths. Trey Griffiths. Do it to him. Do it to him. That is going to seal it. To achieve what we have at the end of the season, there were a couple riskier calls, but I'm happy with how this game has ended. We are going to win another bowl game. That is 3 years in a row where we have taken Hawaii to a bowl game and we have won. This is helping our program build up. That game just blew by 2. Trey Sheffield only had one of those interceptions. On the rushing side of things, Winston Malone, 71 yards. He won the Doak Walker Award. He's going to want so much money. I mean, it doesn't seem like our program tradition or stadium atmosphere has really increased. Our brand exposure, I think it went up slightly. We got a good bit from contract goals, from miscellaneous because of our support staff. But ultimately, when we're thinking about all the money we're going to have to spend, this is how our budget has refreshed. We're already spending so much on this roster. A lot of this shouldn't be calculated correctly because they're seniors that are getting paid. I just don't know what to really think. We got up to a premier facility last year. If we wanted to get to an elite facility, we have to spend $1,350. I feel like that's just going to be a hard moment for us to get to. Winston Malone is willing to return. If we pay Winston Malone like $140, I don't think he transfers. For Tui Jackson Magoa, though, do we want to pay $200 for a defensive tackle? I feel like we're going to have to spend $200 on a defensive lineman if we do want someone of his caliber. Another thing I'm noticing, though, is if you take down the spend a little bit and there's just a half chance that they leave, you spend a lot less. This is going to be hard because to get DJ Kelly to come back, we have to pay him $110. PJ Souffrant, now he wants to leave after we've been developing him here. Desmond Hardy, he doesn't want to stick around. He cares about conference prestige. There are just so many positions where I don't know what is worth what value of money. Do we pay to keep around Deshaun Fed? Do we pay to keep around someone like Desmond Hardy who's going to want to transfer every year? Ultimately, what I'm just doing is looking at some of these NIL values and adjusting them to make sure we don't lose some key players on this roster. We're actually able to pay a couple of these guys a little bit less than you would expect. I have a feeling we're going to be saying goodbye to a lot of impactful players from our program, though. Miami has won the national championship. Boise State actually won a playoff game. There was one thing that I feared, though, and it was this screen. PJ Souffrant, he's gone for good. Justin Thurman, we were paying him a lot. Well, now he is going to be gone as well. We're going to lose our punter. Looks like we're going to lose Hakeem Crandall, our backup quarterback. We have a chance at convincing Alfonso Pope to stay, which we need at right tackle, so that is big. Looks like Lawrence Liotto also wants to come back. Let's not forget, though, Matthew Sherrills, he's been starting for us for 2 seasons. Now he wants to transfer too. We're going to see Jalen Matlock, a guy that we redshirted we were hoping to keep around. He wants to leave. Tyler Rourke, he's gone. Even the 1-star we've recruited in Season 1, Faneu Warrior, we have a high chance at convincing him to stay. He isn't going to transfer, but he was considering doing so. Then we have the graduates that we lose as well. The Trey Griffiths that we've already talked about. The Jordan Lynches that you might not think make a big impact, but they do. Amari Bowens, he won't be returning kicks. Zahale Smith, he's gone. Even Jonathan Agu-Madu, he made a big impact on this team. What we will be doing with Zahale Smith, though, is spending these 14 skill points before he enters the NFL draft to get his levels up. He got so many skill points from having a good season. I was really hoping we could put a receiver into the NFL, and that is what we have done. I am still a little bit confused on our budget, though, because when we look at our roster NIL, it says that there are seniors on here we're still spending on, so it's not fully accurate. Inside of recruiting, we have 765 NIL available, so I'm assuming that is actually touching on what we could be spending. I think we have all of these guys locked up. I don't know if we should even be paying Dylan Roach that much money. He's an edge that is going to want quite a bit. It is still the transfer portal that matters the most, though. And I always start by looking at Hawaii. We could get Matthew Sherrills to come back to our school for 10 NIL. That is cheaper than what he was asking for. We could also get Carvalho to return too. We also are opening ourselves up to potentially going after a couple transfer quarterbacks. I saw Tristan T. I think that's how you say it. What I've learned is with those Okinas, it's a pause and then you say the other side of the word. So with Tristan T. I think that's how we say it. If we get him to sign with us, we're going to have to actually figure it out, though. It would just bring in a little bit of competition for Trey Sheffield, who isn't set to improve any on his accuracies. He would have just as strong of an arm, but he's a little bit slower. I am glad that I am scouting some of the players that we target before we target them too, because this receiver being the 428th best player in the transfer class and having 80 speed, that's just not something I would ever be interested in. It does seem like I have made another discovery during my scouting too. A 97 throw power quarterback. He's from Georgia, 86 speed on him. I think this is somebody that we are going to pay a lot of money. I honestly feel like he is worth a lot more than Mike Alejado was. We're going to start slow. I don't want to set the standards super high. I'm really hoping after we advance a week, after I've just offered a lot of guys a scholarship with a little bit of money, they're willing to consider our program, because that's the plan right now. I hope nobody else wants these guys. However, the reality is for players like James Paul, who I really want, well, we're going to have to compete for him. We're going to get locked out of some of these battles. And are we going to have a chance at getting the QB we wanted? No, we're not. As saddening as that is, that's probably how it was always going to be. So then I went out and I found Cade Kaufman. He's a little bit less accurate, but he's another guy that we could pay a lot of money. Maybe we shouldn't, though. Maybe we should pay Brandon Gibbons instead. After scouting both of them, Brandon Gibbons, he doesn't have as strong of an arm, but I don't know. I just feel like paying a third of the price is better worth it. What I've tried to do is just stay persistent on a lot of different 3-star transfer prospects. And as we head into the final week, we are starting to see guys like James Paul actually commit. It is a big deal. I put an emphasis on getting him. I'm noticing schools like Ball State want to sneak up and try to take away one of these receivers. So we're just going to get into the mix more. For Tua Fanoa, by the way, we have him on a week 4 visit. I think we're going to get this freshman right tackle ranked 181st in the transfer class. We started to throw a little bit more money around at some of these players just because I think they could make a difference. Titan Lasadin is a running back from Hawaii. He is like 5'6", but I think he could be good for depth. The idea I have is we spend a little bit more on this roster, specifically our offensive line, than what you'd like to see. We're not going to be able to spend a bunch inside of our budget. We can't upgrade our facilities, but we're investing for the product on the field. Doing this has led to us signing our first class of 35 players. At least I think we got 35 players, because even though it says there's a deal breaker here, we were first on Tristan Tiaya. Then on Dylan Roach, we are also in first place. I just didn't offer him a scholarship. Ideally, they end up showing up on our roster. We'll see what happens. I like to see impact development on 2 of those tight ends. We also got Matthew Sherrills back. Even impact on some of these transfers, though, like James Paul, who is a freshman, that is a major deal. We paid him a little bit in NIL, but nothing too crazy, because we know that these guys are going to come back. They're going to ask for more throughout their career. Brandon Gibbons is going to have impact development. We got star dev on Tua Fanua. That is a right tackle that is going to hopefully become a staple to this team. Frederick Bragg has star dev. I think our offensive line is actually going to be really good. I mean, we already saw what it did in Mountain West play this year. We had the 39th best class in the country. We spent 3 times more than every other team. We continue to spend the most. I also decided to recruit a JUCO receiver that I was just going to move over to tight end because he's gritty possession. He is 6'4", and I just want him to put on a little bit of weight. I'm really not moving around too many players' positions. I made Rob Jorgensen an edge for us. We'll see if he becomes a starter. I also think we're going to take Prince Cottingham over to strong safety just because I like this speed. at that position. Jaden Bradley, unfortunately, just isn't cutting it for me. He's better as a backup. We are going to have some really good players on this roster too. Tui Jackson-Mageo now has 95 power moves. His run stopping and IQ is maxed out, but the senior is still going to have 14 skill points left, so we can get him pocket disruptor. I'm really hoping that we can get to that third tier during the season as he continues to find success. And he is not the only player that is really exciting. Winston Malone. We can't get his elusiveness up. His juke moves aren't getting any better, but he is now going to have 91 speed. I was hoping he got even faster than this. Little bit unfortunate. Maybe we use him as a receiver too, though, as we can get him gold takeoff. Then we have our QB battle. Trey Sheffield isn't able to purchase any of those physical upgrades. His stats are maxed out. His IQ is maxed out. His quickness is the only thing that can really go up. Meanwhile, Brandon Gibbons comes in as a pocket passer who, if he gets a stronger arm, is really efficient. We could also continue to increase his accuracy. And with all of those stats above 90, basically, there are just going to be more and more abilities that are available to him. I like increased accuracy in the pocket for open receivers. Dot is a great ability to have. We might be handing off our starting job to him, even though his arm is a little bit weaker. Trey Sheffield just had a good season. I don't know. It's hard to decide. At least there will be no shortage of receivers to throw the ball to. Desmond Hardy was on the team last year. We just got him Silver Cutter, but we didn't really get him the football that much. He's got 90 speed. He's got decent route running, and he is also 6'5". For us to have a receiver like him that we can go to alongside some of these other guys like Deshaun Fed that jumped up in overall, Ezekiel Gaudet, who just transferred in, Malachi Livings, he could be a staple. Scotty Brennan, he's now 76. It is all a really big deal. For Tyreek Tate, we are also going to take his zone coverage up to a 95, so I'm excited to see how he does in coverage as a senior. There's just a lot of positive progression going on. You all will see the full team once we get to episode 4 and we dive into another season. I'm hoping that we can go for back-to-back conference championships, because if we don't, well, we might then take a step back and it's going to get even harder.